Hello, Rattler Nation. Hi, I am Kelvin Roser. We have Marcus Green.
That's right.
And soon to be joined by Bryan Fulford. You know, the school year started, and you know how those teachers are, man. You know, they got a lot that first week, back. So he will definitely be around in the second hour. We will also have from the second half of the hour to the end of the show. That's right. We have the FAMU Avengers. So we have Troy from Fat Mouth. We have J-Peeps from Penalty Talk. We have Ashley, as well as Tache from Frank Exchange. Of course, you have the O&G crew, and we have Keith Hatley from
Bangs Up
Podcast. So get ready for that. And of course, we're going to talk about a lot of FAMU football, but there's a lot of other news going on. We'll get to that shortly. First of all, how you doing, Marcus? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling like a coach. I got on a long sleeve in the hot weather. But everything's going good. You know, things are going good up here. You know, we got championship season kicking off for volleyball. We got football coming back, and the buzz is buzzing.
Absolutely, man. There's a lot of breaking news that has happened over the last 48 hours in multiple sports that we got to get into. But before we do that, we'll do some house cleaning things. And first of all, I want to welcome everybody, Rattler Nation, HBCU sports fan, to the O&G StrikeZone. Thank you for listening and supporting us. You can follow us on all the social media tags at O&G StrikeZone. You can support us with Cash App, $ my JBN, my BCSN, and also you can download the Jericho Broston app. Search my JBN, my BCSN in your app store. All right, we're going to get the shout outs in. We're going to get into the shout outs in a minute, but Marcus, we still have an early guest, right?
Yes, we do. And
tell everybody who our early guest is.
We have Miss Tamia Coleman of our championship volleyball team. She'll be joining us and giving us a preview of the season and a little bit on what she did this summer. So looking forward to that. So, once again, having our championship coach last week, Coach Gokhan, and then having one of our championship players. And I think not being a champion is a foreign concept to her, because I think her first 2 years she's been bringing home rings. So that'll be an interesting conversation.
All right, looking forward to that conversation. And also, I want to we left one Avenger out, and I just noticed it. Mr. Campbell, he will also be on with the rest of the Avengers. So we're looking forward to that. Speaking of volleyball, the SWAC rankings came out, and who do they have as number one? No other than
read the shirt.
No other than FAMU.
That's right.
Which two would be expected? We have so much returning. We won 4 out of the last 5 SWAC championships, and I think we played for all 5, right?
I believe we have, and the only one we lost was 2023.
Right.
I think we lost to Jackson State in that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, the consistency, is what it is, and this team, if they get off to the kind of start they're capable of and come together, they will have opportunity like they did a couple of years ago and go undefeated in the SWAC. So I would love for them to. I would love to see them. I've looked at the schedule, and I would love for them to make a similar run to what was that? The 2002 squad that beat Nebraska, who was number 2 ranked at the time. I
Mhm.
believe that team holds the most win in volleyball program history at FAM. So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah, we had their
I'm,
coach stewing, had that
yeah,
Nebraska coach stewing all the way up until his retirement.
yeah, he couldn't retire till he played us and beat us.
Ah,
Because
yeah,
we were one of the only teams that he had a losing record to.
yeah. And I don't know if it was Vaughn or whoever. Somebody said that he was campaigning to get us
Oh
as a
yeah,
yeah, so he could even his record before he retired.
yep. Little old FAMU. So that's the kind of tradition and the kind of winning that we have traditionally done in many sports at FAMU. That's our history. So um, that's why we brag different. All right, we're gonna get to the shout outs right quick until our we got leave that put that back up there. Mr. Producer Roy, appreciate you stepping in at the last minute and making things happen. But I believe Peer Review was second.
Mhm.
Um, and of course they were the number 1 seed last year.
That was the
And
wrong one, sir. I'll get the correct one. My apologies.
no problem, no
The
problem.
voice from above.
Yeah. What did you say, God? But yeah, we'll start out with the shout outs and first up, the high. Of course, I jumped in at 5:30 early today. I was excited. I knew the Avengers was going to assemble. So, Ken Rozier, what's up, Ken and Alex? We got Kevin Butler in the house. What's up, Kelvin and wife? We got J Max, Jimmy McDaniel. What's going on, J Mac? We got Mr. Gilbert in the house. What's going
Mhm.
on, all Benny? And Mr. Gilbert, I think he probably got somebody moving into the dorms, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
All right, then we got Miss Williams, the high in the house.
Hey,
There's
I'm
that
moving.
preseason poll. So yeah, and that makes sense. This poll makes sense. The top five definitely. They're traditionally the top 5 teams that compete for the SWAC championship. We played Jackson State for it a few times. Um, Alabama A&M is, as Coach said last week, one of the up and coming programs. Peer Review was the 1 seed last year and defeated us when we played them until tournament time. And then Alabama State is a traditional power. They've beaten us in the regular season a couple of times. And then Bethune was one of the more improved teams last year, as well as of course Southern. We played in the championship game last year. So that all the SWAC coaches got it right. I think for the most part, it makes sense. It looks a lot better than some of the stuff they did for another sport. What would you got anything to add, Marcus?
Well, I mean, poll, I don't have a disagreement about it. Typically, at least on the side, they tend to, put the reigning champ back as number one, and it's pretty easy. But in this instance, I wouldn't say that I want to say lazy polling, but I'm surprised that Southern's down. I mean, I don't know all the rosters, but I mean, we played Southern in the championship game last year, so I'm a little surprised that they're maybe not a little bit higher. But considering who's coming back, and we don't know, I don't know if from any of the other teams with all the breaking news with players getting a fifth year. I don't
Yes,
know if
fifth
there's
year.
any. I don't know if there's any players from some of the volleyball teams who are getting, because I think Terrell Owens' daughter played for Prairie View, and I don't know if she was a senior last year, so who knows if she's getting an extra year based on the judicial ruling, or if there are other players coming back. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with that late breaking news. But I don't have a disagreement with it.
And Coach Gray did a good job of just simplifying what that 5 year rule is now. And as he stated, that it's essentially trying to get 25, 26, 27-year-old out of college athletics. So once either you got 5 years to play 5 instead of what used to be 5 years to play 4. So you got 5 years to play at the collegiate level, and the clock starts either when you roll straight out of high school or you turn 19 and you haven't enrolled, but you turn 19. You got 5 years from the time you turn 19. So that's the new rule. And we'll talk about it real quick. So one of the things at the 220 club that Coach Gray revealed was that we have a linebacker who's a legend and friend of the show, who was a GA, who's back playing his 5th year. Nayron Jenkins, starting linebacker from the last couple of years. He's back and will be a player on the team instead of a GA. And the good thing is he's been around the team the whole time. So he knows the system because he was helping coach that group. And, I'm sure he has a little work to do in terms of, getting into peak physical shape. But, man, that linebacker room was pretty young. Talented, but young. We have quite a few because we lost 5 guys last year.
Wow, okay.
The only one that came back that played significantly was Justice Cross.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the guys who come back, sophomores, freshmen, I think one was a junior, but they have very limited time playing at linebacker. And then we had the transfers. And the guy from Alabama State, I think Denzel Johnson had played a lot, of course. He was a starter at Alabama State, but this system is new. And
we had a converted linebacker. No, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I know it's Gerson.
Yeah.
Myrtle or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to mispronounce his name.
Yeah.
He was a tight end last year. He came in last year. So he switched positions, or at least his position was switched. We don't know how that went down. But
so I guess the point I'm making I think that's a big addition because though we had numbers and a good athleticism and size, we did lack some experience, actual playing experience. And that exactly is what Nayron would bring, as well as great ability. I mean, he was just a starter. He was the one that called the defense and got people in place. And when he went on the field, that's when it seemed like a lot of the bigger plays happened. Which is why I didn't understand he was off the field as much as he was last year. But anyway, that's a good pickup. And basketball also had someone that they just late, right before we came on the show.
Breaking news.
Yeah, Jaquan Sanders. He's coming back for his 5th year. Men's basketball. 6'7" kid out of Rockaway, New York. So he was our big shot guy. He was the guy that take that last second shot at the end of the games, and he made more than he missed. That's for sure. So that with everything we've added, we got 3-7-1, 7-2, 7-3 guys, and we got a couple of 4-star, one a freshman, one a transfer. With the team we've assembled, to have a guy like that who knows the system and who's already made big shots for us, I mean, it's a huge deal. And so men's basketball, congratulations on that. And
especially at the point guard position.
Yeah.
The leader of the team.
Yeah. So the only question I have now with football is I've heard that potentially it could be up to 2 more guys, but I haven't heard any names.
Okay. I was trying to speculate on that. I looked back at my little handy dandy spreadsheet to see who was class of 22. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have any information on between you and the Avengers. Y'all probably got, some files back in the Avengers headquarters. But I was trying to look and see who's still around, who's still available.
Right.
I mean, there's a couple of names I could throw out there, but that'd be pure speculation.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All I would say is it would not hurt my feelings if it was a offense or defensive interior lineman.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because outside of that, I think we're ready to roll. And when the Avengers get here, I think we're gonna have a really good conversation about this upcoming season, the roster, the coaching staff, and all that. But our producer tells me that our guest is here. And
Mhm.
Marcus, I'm gonna let you drive the car since you kind of arranged this one. And if Mr. Producer Roy, if you can bring her on.
All right. Well, welcome to the O&G StrikeZone. We're blessed to have Miss Tamia Coleman, who is a class of 2028 player on our championship women's volleyball team. And so we welcome you to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes. So as you can see, myself, Kelvin, and Bryan will join us a little bit later. But I did want to start off if you would give a general introduction to our audience so they can become more familiar with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Tamia Coleman. I'm a junior at FAM. I was a military kid, so I moved around a lot, but I graduated high school in Palm Beach, Florida, and went to Palm Beach Central High School. I'm studying cardiopulmonary science, so I will graduate with my certificate in respiratory therapy, and I plan to go to medical school and become a pediatrician.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you. Kelvin, do you have any questions?
Absolutely. First of all, um, kind of talk about how the off season has been for you, particularly the summer. How's everything been going? What kind of activities have you, as well as the team, been participating in?
Yes, so this past summer, I was blessed to receive an internship at Johns Hopkins. So I was not in town, I was in Baltimore for the summer. I
Oh,
was doing research at the Bloomberg School of Public Health in adolescent mental health, but the team was in town. They were practicing. I heard that lift was really tough. They had some tough lifts and open gym. That's typically how it is during the off season. We'll have open gym every day whenever we can get court time and we can get the nets up. And personally, since I was in Baltimore, I didn't have a real official team to play with. So I was in the gym. I played at the rec a couple times with just Johns Hopkins students. But it was really mainly focused on strength training, being in the gym, making sure that I maintain staying in shape to be able to play in the season.
okay. Kind of talk about the. I love academic
Mhm.
scholars and full robust student athletes. So talk about that experience. How was it?
It was absolutely amazing. I loved my time in Baltimore. I loved my time at Hopkins. It was, like I said, it was in the Bloomberg School of Public Health. There were 24 of us, I believe, 24 of us from across the country. And we all were assigned our own research project. So I was in the Center for Adolescent Mental Health. My project was on the impacts of peer mentorship on the development of resilience in adolescents from low income urban areas. And I got to do qualitative research on the Heart Smiles Baltimore program, which was essentially a mentorship program for Baltimore City youth, where they had adult and peer mentors. The youth would come in and receive professional development, development, mental health education, things of that nature. And I kind of looked at the impacts that it had because at the end of the mentorship, they were interviewed. And I got to look through the interviews and kind of highlight common themes. And we found that discipline, close relationships, and I forgot what our third outcome was. It was supportive relationships, discipline, and something along those lines. But overall, just examining how the aspect of mentorship could impact children from low income urban areas because they oftentimes don't have those types of people in their lives to influence them and to break generational cycles. So it was incredibly rewarding. It's something I'm very passionate about myself. Health equity
Yeah.
is something that brings me into the medical field. And I met amazing people, a lot of Ivy League students. I was the only HBCU student, which was very rewarding to
Wow.
represent FAM, to show people what an HBC was about, to show people how capable I was and how rooted I was in my identity. And I absolutely loved every second of it.
That is beautiful. How many weeks was that?
It was 8 weeks. It was the entire summer.
That is awesome, man. Congratulations on that. Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yes, and actually, hopefully, if Roy can get it up, I do have your Instagram post showing your presentation. How did you enjoy Baltimore?
I loved Baltimore. I loved the DMV. I was everywhere in the DMV. I was everywhere. It's a beautiful city, beautiful people. I've always been more attracted to the city life. I've grown up in more like suburb, rural area in my life, and I love the city. There's just so much to do, so much to see. It's so lively. I loved the campus. Hopkins campus was amazing. It was beautiful. The commute, even, I was obsessed with the commute, just being able to see the differences throughout the city. I also got to I went to New York, I went to Philly, I went to DC. I definitely I explored for sure.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you played, I guess, recreationally with some of the Johns Hopkins students. Do you think that's a bit unfair of you to be playing against people off the street and you're just like slamming on them?
I refused to play front row. I played back row the whole time, and I'm a middle, so it was like it made it a relatively even team. I accidentally hit someone in the head though, so then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop hitting.
Okay. Now, as it relates to the volleyball, and I guess you guys are aware of the news that the SWAC, I guess it's the SIDs and the coaches, has anointed FAMU as the preseason number one.
Mm-hmm.
And before you came on, and maybe you may have heard that if I recall correctly, because I'm kind of I like to follow recruiting, that you came in class of 24.
Mm-hmm.
So you've not experienced, you've been ringed every season you've been at FAMU. So now you have the target. Well, I guess you had target last year as well, but the target on your back. And what's the general team feeling about having that preseason accolade?
Definitely confidence. I think more than anything, it just kind of establishes the expectations of the season. We understand that target is on our back, but we're not necessarily intimidated by it. It kind of drives us and pushes us. We have a team identity of pushing ourselves to be the best regardless. So with the preseason polls having us at the top, it's kind of already how we cater our practices, if that makes sense. Like we act like we want to be at the top, and then it kind of shows in the way that we're being ranked. So I think it kind of just brought a lot of confidence and excitement for the season to see how teams react to our consistency and being in the winning few groups of teams.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Kelvin?
So I want you to talk about your particular position. I heard you say what it was, but kind of explain to the novice watchers who don't know all the intricacies of volleyball, your position and what your position primarily does. And then talk about your team, your teammates, and some people that we should be looking out for, and and how the fall practice up until now. I know you got a scrimmage coming. How's it been going?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a middle blocker. I play in the front row. A lot of people would call me a spiker. I hit the ball. I block the ball. There's 3 people in the front row. I'm the one in the middle. So I just go side to side blocking the ball, and I hit. I don't pass at all. Some middles serve and pass. I'm not a serving and passing middle. I've never have been. And my primary, like what distinguishes me between other players, is blocking. It's my primary role to block, to establish the block. The back row has to build their defense around my block. So it's really important that I close. The pin hitters are the ones who set the block, and then I close the block. Sometimes if their middle gets set, it's a solo block. So that's my primary role. When it comes to the team, We had the freshman of the year, LaDonna. She is an outside, a rising. She's a sophomore this year, and she is a fun player to watch. Very fun player to watch. Our MVP is our setter, Mackenzie Taylor. She's my best friend, my roommate since freshman year, and she is our captain as well, doing very well in that role. I think her experience, she came in as a freshman, started as a freshman, and never left the court. So she's had a lot of experience in that championship match, that mindset, running our team, running our offense, being very vocal in it. So I think that's a very good asset for us to have her as captain. Farah Farouk, I know she's been highlighted as a player to watch. She is the other middle, so she is the person above me. She's a senior, and she's always been someone I looked up to. I was relatively new to volleyball. I started kind of late in life. I started in high school. So coming into a program and having people to look up to, because my freshman year, I had Isis Williams, I had Kalia Todd, I had Farah Farouk, and these are all phenomenal, impactful SWAC middles that I just kind of learned from and I was able to absorb knowledge from. So Farah Farouk is a huge impact on our team. She's had a huge impact on me as an individual, us playing the same position. She's, in a way, I don't want to say a mentor, but someone to look up to. Her play style is very quick, very consistent, and our back row is also efficient. We have great liberos, great DSs. We have a transfer, Deja Williams. I'm really excited to see how she plays. She's playing on the right side, and she's been doing a great job in practice. Her growth has been so amazing to watch. She came in as a transfer in the spring, and watching her grow in chemistry and grow in confidence, she's going to be a huge impact. I'm excited to play next to her, with her on the right side and me and Farah in the middle. And then Donna, Sydney Whitfield as our outsides are both just powerful. And I keep mentioning consistent players, just very, they have such an impact on our team and on the court. Like their presence really shows. So I think we're stacked this year. Our freshman setter, Simone, also has been doing a great job. So I really like the way that our team is looking. These practices so far, we're in preseason, 2-a-days. Yeah. So we've had an AM practice, so we'll have breakfast, AM practice, lunch, PM practice, dinner. So it's been busy. It's been tough. But I think it's really building our team chemistry. Yeah. Having so many people return is so helpful. And then also being able to welcome in the new faces and the people who didn't necessarily play on the court last year, being able to bring them into their role while already having such a team that has that experience. Right. It's been meshing very well, better than you'd imagine. Yeah. Because the people that we already had are so influential. And we have a team culture and it shows, and it's very easy to catch on to. So it's been going very well.
Well, absolutely. The best teams are player-led, and having that leadership who has done that and been there absolutely is a great sign to get started with. Now, the question that we had in the chat is, I know the first scrimmage got canceled. You all do have a scrimmage coming up, though, in the next few days, right?
Yes, on Sunday.
Okay, where's that scrimmage at?
It's in Tallahassee. It's at Al Lawson at 12 p.m.
At 12 p.m. Okay, I got to mentally put that in my Rolodex so I can come support y'all and check that out. Yes, all right, go ahead, Marcus.
Ms. Coleman, I had a question for you. Actually, I have a couple. One, what is your reflection on the overall height and physique of the team this year? It seemed like there was a little bit more height brought in from, and I'm just kind of speculating, just kind of qualitatively thinking that, but also I guess the question I wanted to ask, what were the biggest learnings that you had from the NCAA tournament experience? Because I think 2024 was University of Florida. I think last year was Nebraska, if I'm correct. What would take away from that in terms of going forward and having overall team improvement and your personal improvement on the court?
Just to make sure I have your question right, you're talking about the height on our team and learning experiences from the NCAA tournaments.
Yes.
Okay. We have a very tall team. I've noticed that when we play other teams, and you know how we high five before games and we're just like towering over teams at times. Very athletic team. Personally, my vertical has increased every year since I've been here. I came in touching 10-1. Now I'm touching 10-5. And we have multiple 10-5s on our team, multiple big jumpers, tall girls who are very athletic. And athleticism is kind of the foundation. Adding experience, adding passion, adding discipline on top of that makes us kind of unstoppable, because playing teams like Texas and Nebraska, they're entirely out of our division. We don't play teams like that, but we're not necessarily afraid to play them. It's just
Right.
an experience, and it's higher level volleyball, but that's the standard that we set ourselves to anyways. We don't
Right.
not necessarily like, oh, we're going to go out and we're going to beat Nebraska, but it's like, okay, it's Nebraska, but we're FAMU. And we know what we can do. We know
Yeah.
the players we have, and we're confident in that. So I think having NCAA experience even just furthers our confidence. And it's kind of just, we know what we can do. We know who we are. We made it to the tournament for a reason. And we're capable of playing in this tournament. And we've worked so hard for it. GoCon does a very good job of making sure that we are ready to win. We practice like we play, and we practice to win. We go at each other crazy in practice. Like, you would think it is the NCAA tournament, the way we tear at each other in practice. So the athleticism and the experience overall just makes a very hard to beat team.
I got a
All right, well,
fun
thank you very much.
question.
Mhm.
Where's your ring? What you did with him?
They're sitting in my I have a little stand with a couple trophies and my rings and my little NCAA coins in my room.
Okay. All right. And what I heard you when you was talking about your John Hawkins, representing HBCUs, FAMU, and I hear the pride and passion in being able to represent the university. Uh, tell me about your journey to FAMU. Why FAMU, and what do you love about it?
I actually never thought I would come to FAM in high school. I didn't imagine myself at an HBCU. I came to FAM it was mostly through volleyball. I had
Right.
a couple offers, but I wanted to stay in Florida. And when I came on my visit, I kind of fell in love with the culture because of the fact that I grew up in a very diverse area.
Mm-hmm.
So I never necessarily experienced much like adversity. I never really
Mhm.
experienced much racial adversity. And I didn't necessarily have like my identity as a Black woman wasn't a big part of who I was. And I
Right.
thought that going to an HBCU was so like you had to be so into it. But when I
Right.
came here, it opened my eyes to how beautiful it is. And I guess I kind of never thought much of the fact that all my teachers were white, or that the people, like I said, I want to be a doctor. All the doctors I shadowed were white. It didn't really cross my mind. But then I came here and I was like, wow, like everybody looks like me and
Yeah.
everybody has the same culture as me, the same ideas as me. And being able to express it so openly and
Yeah.
have such an identity in it has been so fulfilling for me as a person. I have grown so much through FAMU because I guess I just kind of realized my identity in society. Mentorship is a big part of who I am. I love being a mentor, and learning about myself as a Black woman has allowed me to impact other younger Black women who don't have
Yeah.
that role, somebody to play that role in their life or to emphasize that in their life. And I'm huge on expanding opportunity. I love for people to know that whoever you are, you can be whatever you want. You just need to put them to work.
Yeah.
And FAM has absolutely taught me that. FAM teaches you that the world is your oyster. You have everything that you need to do what you want to do, because it teaches you that self-efficacy and confidence in society.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on, you are who you are, and that's an amazing and beautiful thing. And that's something I learned through FAM that I would have never learned not going to an HBCU.
Man, that is very eloquently stated. You using words like efficacy, man. I'm just proud.
I'm looking up. I got Webster on my other screen.
That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Mark.
Ms. Coleman, I did want to ask. I think I saw either on some Instagram post or somewhere that it looks like you're also a youth coach for volleyball. Would you mind talking a little bit about that and how that came about and what your plans are going forward with that?
I love coaching. I coach so GoCon owns a volleyball club, PSVA. Not sure if he's the owner. I don't really know how that works, but I know that we work for GoCon, and I coached 13 to 15-year-olds, and it was so much fun. I absolutely intend to continue doing it. As long as I live in Tallahassee, I will coach for PSVA. And just as a D1 athlete, I think I have a unique perspective to teach younger athletes because I'm in it. I'm actively in it. I'm at almost the highest level that you could play at. And the lessons that I learned along the way, I'm able to teach them immediately, if that makes sense. Because it's like, as I'm learning, I'm impacting rather than in reflection or kind of being a male coach teaching younger girls. It's not as easy to receive as somebody who's closer in age to you and understands your experiences, especially because I had some bad club coaches. I had coaches that made me not want to play. And my biggest inspiration was to be the coach that I would have wanted to have, and being able to see my girls get excited to come to practice or excited to play. And my girls are less experienced. They're new to volleyball, or they've had other commitments outside of volleyball, so where they're not as developed. So being able to establish a love for learning, a love for the sport is so rewarding. And as a middle, it has been interesting to teach other positions because as a middle, I don't serve receive, but I have players that struggle in serve receive. So it's developed my volleyball IQ and understanding what movements need to be made, what adjustments need to be made, what it looks like to play other positions, while also being able to develop them as players. And I love my girls. They still contact me to this day. They text me, Coach Tamia, I made JV. And it's like, oh, like, I'm so happy for you. And even beyond my team, the other girls I got to meet, and just young women who just need to be pushed. Like, I think that investment in people goes so far. When you have a player and you tell them, I believe in you, I know what you can do, and I want to get you there, they'll get there. And having my own team, I think I had 8 players, having 8 girls that I could instill that mindset in was the highlight of my spring.
That is wonderful. So I want you to kind of give out how people can follow you, in the social plugs, and any shout outs you want to give before we let you go.
Okay. Yes. All my socials are just my name, Tamia Coleman _6, and Tamia Coleman official. Similar on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's all my name. I think if you look up my name, you'll find me. And shout outs, definitely FAMU Volleyball as a whole, my teammates, my coaches, thank you just for investing in me, for trusting in me. Like I said, I came in pretty unexperienced, but having people who trusted me and becoming the player I am today, I wouldn't be here without them. And my family, everybody who supported me. And this whole experience has been such a blessing. Thank you all for having me, for reaching out to me and allowing me to speak on here. Thank you so much. And always thanking God, thanking Jesus Christ. I am a firm believer, and none of this would have been here without him, without his love, and without his grace. So, yes, thank you all for having me.
Amen. Marcus, you got anything else?
No, just thank you for accepting. And as Bryan always says, you are officially now a friend of the show. So if you just reach out to us, if you ever want to come back on the show, or some things special coming up, or how shall I say it? When you guys get your NCAA bid, you can come back on the
Heavy
show.
On win.
Yeah. There you go.
So, open invitation.
To this. Yeah.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right. But so thank you so much, and we wish you well this season. We can't wait to see how things turn out. Can't wait to see your next research project. whether it be Johns Hopkins or somewhere else, but looking forward to seeing how things play out for you in the future.
Okay, thank you all so much.
All right, let's go volleyball. Bring it up. All right, Mr. Roy, you can go ahead and take us out.
Looks like we had a Roy ganger in there.
This is Bryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game, it's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins! The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain! Available now. Let the journey begin.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
The champs are here. 2 teams, 2 legacies, 2 championship-winning coaches on one stage. The 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. South Carolina State Bulldogs versus the FAMU Rattlers. September 6th, Labor Day weekend, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. You don't just want to watch it, you want to feel it. The sound of the bands, the energy in the stands, and the pride on every play. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com. Built on history, fueled by pride.
All right. It's that moment. It's that time of the show. Welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone.
Man, that was gracious.
Hold on, something there, right? There we go.
I'm coming forever.
Like the opening of a Marvel movie. Everybody just
hold on. Let me. Kelvin, you forget how to throw the show to a commercial? I mean,
no, I Kelvinized it.
You what?
You know, I don't throw it like you. I throw it like me.
All right, throwing balls in the dirt. You know, the producer trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
I wonder why Keith was face was showing up.
Exactly, you threw me off for a second.
Hey, you know, I don't do the technical background stuff, so you know, I don't understand the impact.
Yeah. All right, well, hey, good to see everybody. Tache, Troy, Mr. Campbell, J-Peeps, Ashley, and Keith. Your neighborhood-friendly Avengers back again, all lined up, ready to talk about the 2026 season. Everybody got the script, right? Everybody, Kelvin, you sent it to everybody. Everybody knows what's going on. Oh, Lord.
No.
Where's the script?
I sent the link.
Don't say it.
All right,
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
This is improv. We do improv around here.
Oh,
yeah. We Rattlers. We can handle it.
Okay.
We talking FAMU football. I mean,
good stuff. Okay. Here we go. Give me a second. I'm going to get my stuff together here. Make sure I see what's happening here. All right. Let's kind of start with the 2026 season. Let's kind of start with the coaching staff, right? A lot of stuff before we get into talking about the schedule and the teams and all that kind of stuff. We know Coach Quinn Fordham Gray made some great hires in terms of this coaching staff. So we'll kind of go around the horn and kind of start with everybody's thoughts on the coaching staff and who is, in your opinion, the most important hire that Coach made. And we'll start it off with Tache in the
I knew it. I knew it.
You were in the top square, Tache, so that's why I had to start there.
Why would you ask that last question? You were doing good till you got to that last question. Why would you ask that?
What was the last question? What did I ask?
What was the most? They're all important. They're all important. They're all important.
Blame the show producer who wrote the questions. I'm just reiterating what the producer.
Boy,
Wow.
This team ain't going nowhere, man, because we ain't together.
Okay.
We throw each other under the bus.
I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, I'm gonna answer the question. This is my opinion. I think that the most important hire is gonna be our defensive coordinator. That's my opinion. I think that we've gotten away from FAMU football as it pertains to defense. I think we've kind of gotten acclimated in not the best way to that swag finesse type of play. And so I think that we need to get back to that dark cloud defense that we knew, that we know of. And I expect that our DC is going to bring that back. I know the success that he had when he was at Bama State, how good he was there and how good that defense was there. So I expect that and greater here. So I'll say that our best hire, in my opinion, is going to be the DC. And I also like what we've seen is there is success in systems, right? Whether it be MEAC, SWAC, whatever that is. We've seen success in systems. You see Chinnisberry, his system that he took to South Carolina State, successful. You see Tremaine Jackson, his system that he took to PV, successful. And what we also see is that systems don't take time. Right. So no matter what the players, I'm not saying that the Jimmys and Joes don't matter, but we've seen that systems are successful. And so I like the fact that he brought a lot of his key pieces from Albany State to FAMU, which keeps a system in place.
Right. And I noticed you still call it the Dark Cloud defense. So you must like that name still. All right. Ashley, we'll keep it with the ladies to start. Ashley, what about you?
Well, I mean, she stole my answer. That was going to be my exact answer. If I had to pick one, I mean, if I think about previous successful teams that we've had, no matter who the coach was, defense was a large factor to that. And I think that that's just key for us. Tache said it all already. The last few seasons, we've been considered a lot of things. So we need to get back to who we are, who we know to be, and who we believe Quinn can get us to. So, in my opinion, get away and forget the past couple years. That was a glitch in the system. Matter of fact, that was AI. Now we're back to the regular schedule program, and I do agree that the defensive coordinator and all of his type of defense, the way he will coach. I said this when we had a show months ago that while we do need Jimmys and Joes, I'm a firm believer in coaching. And I do believe real coaches can develop, even if it's not the best player. And if you can get all these players to play together as a team, that means a whole lot more than just having 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 stars who can't bring it all together. So I love the defensive coordinator hire. I'm super excited about that, and I'm ready to see what he brings to Rattler Nation.
Nice. Mr. Campbell, anybody other than the defensive coordinator tickle your fancy? Anybody that you like?
Well, here's the thing. It's not only the defensive coordinator, it's Chris Cash and Sam Madison. We lost games because of our defensive backs. And I'm going to steal from my homeboy. This, between Chris Cash, Sam Madison, and Ron Lewis, FBI will be in place. And as Terrell Buckley said, that means football intelligence. Because we lost games on defense because of lack of football intelligence.
Yeah.
So just the fact that those 3 men, as they say, the GPA automatically went up when they walked in the room. So those are the things when I look at it, because with Ryan Lewis's defense, like Tache said, so you've got a scheme, but you've got Chris Cash, who also was defense coordinator for Albany State, that is specifically coaching the safeties. Okay. Then you've got Sam Madison. Now we're talking technique, because one of the things, again, and I'll just have to use that, shout out to Coach's Corner. When you have guys like Coach Buckley said, I'm actually coaching the cornerbacks. Guess what Sam Madison is doing? He is showing technique because he knows how to play the position. So that alone, that confusion that we saw in the Valley game, that confusion that we saw in the Howard game, the confusion that we clearly saw in the Bethune-Cookman game.
Yeah.
You know, you're just not going to see that with this defense. So for me, it's the whole, not just the sum of the part.
All right. Troy, how about you? They didn't leave very much meat on the defensive side of the bone, but how about you?
Y'all sure y'all want to hang with Eddie Kane?
I mean, you tired of getting put in headlocks by the 2 girls?
Listen, I'm just gonna say this. I was intrigued by the wide receiver coach hire, because we talked about getting back to what FAMU is. I remember old FAMU. I remember balance but big plays in the passing game. I remember you get those receivers in open field and they convert 3rd downs and maybe more. The wide receiver coach, for me personally, is very intriguing, because that guy, when he played, was a 3rd down machine. If he can translate that into these young fellas, and they got size, it's going to be a special season.
And in case anybody didn't know who our wide receiver coach was, he's talking about Ron Dugans out there. Keith, how about you?
I mean, look, Kelvin's truly my cousin, because y'all know I don't like being like nobody else. I'm going to say Nayron Jenkins. And I think sometimes it's the coach on the field, and so when Coach Gray, made that announcement, I know the streets had already told us what was going on. Y'all did a great job. Look, I love my little street committee, whoever you be for keeping it quiet and under wraps. But when Coach Gray said Nayron was coming back, I was like, okay, because last season didn't sit well with me. So I think having that experience at linebacker, along with having Justice Cross and some of the other guys in that linebacker room, I think that matters, because now, yes, you have that FBI, as Coach was talking about, that football, in that football experience and that football education. But now you also have that guy on the field that he's won the Celebration Bowl. I got the pictures. If you want to challenge me, I can send it to you. I took the picture my damn self. So, for me, it's Nayron Jenkins.
Nayron. Nayron's back. Huh? Where have I been? I must have missed that. Okay.
I'm Bryan. Don't do that.
J-Peeps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For me, I gotta go. I'm like Mr. Campbell. I gotta go with really the whole entire defensive staff. Honestly, you're gonna see detail. You're gonna see structure. You have a coach in Sam Madison who's he's won 2 Super Bowls, one as a coach, one as a player. You have Ryan Lewis, defensive coordinator. His defenses were second only to Coach Smitty's when he was at Alabama State. And then you got Chris Cash. So an entire unit on defense that I think that, and I'm like the rest of y'all, I think they lost their edge under the previous staff. And one thing for me is like I don't like to see a soft defense, and I think that's what it was. You had a few hitters, you had a few guys here and there, but it takes 11. It takes a full 11 to get the job done. And honestly, too, I'm going to piggyback off of what Keith said too. I like having Nayron getting his eligibility back, because now you have someone that's been sitting in on those coaches' meetings. You have someone now that can call the defense and kind of take the pressure off of Justice Cross, and make sure your defensive line is lined up in the right gaps. Make sure they're shooting the right gaps. Like, no, you don't shoot the A gap. You shoot this gap. No, it's not. You guys aren't just taking on guards and tackles 1v1. You're twisting, like things like that. So I do think, like, as a collective, this defense should be much more improved. And again, it goes back to the thing I was saying last year. I said it on here, said it on post game. I was saying it on Tuesday nights for the Rattler Roundup podcast. Controlled aggression. That's what you need. Controlled aggression for 60 minutes. Make people afraid to have to play you. So that's what I look forward to seeing this year.
Nice. Kelvin, Marcus, you guys want to add anything? Anybody different?
I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to say I'm like Jimmy Mack. Coach Gray is the key, because all those only he could assemble the staff that we talking about, along with Rattler Nation, given the way they did when he came on board and was announced. I think he was a critical hire. He understands the culture. He has the same expectations. He is experienced. And what I love, and I think he learned this from his first go around, even though he when he was a coordinator here, to be honest, because there was some discussion after that, but he got experienced people around him. And when I say experience, I'm talking about experience at the highest level. You look at Sam. Well, Sam won a Super Bowl as the DB coach with Kansas City. Just what, 4 years ago?
Yep.
Chris Katz, you talked about, he was on that same staff initially at FAMU, but he was the defense coordinator. He's an experienced defense coordinator. Tariana Morgan, been a head coach, and was a coordinator at associate head coach at Tennessee State. And just so on and so on, Ron Dugan. I mean, he's been the coordinator at the FCS level. He's been at programs like Miami, Florida State, Louisville. So just to have that kind of coach role, so to have that kind of talent and assemble it on one staff, we already saw last year with Tremaine Jackson at Prairie View. We saw what Chennis Berry did. And to Tache point, when you have great coaching, we know at FAMU, we never have an issue with attracting talent. But when we have great coaching, I mean, we're dominant. We win a lot. So I feel like Coach Gray was the key. He's assembling a staff, and I'm going to explain how that translates with my predictions when we get there.
Marcus, what do you want to add?
For me, I kind of got a triple one. I kind of combining them two: Elijah Haggard and DeHaan Mixon as the defensive line coaches on the ends and the interior. Because after the championship season, I know you and I talked about it, Bryan and Kelvin, that we had a lot of senior experience coming off that Celebration Bowl, and I don't think we adequately replaced that experience or the talent in the last 2 years. So getting pushed around on the defensive line, you saw the scores last year. I mean, they were Valley got 30 points on us, 34 plus.
35.
That wasn't, yeah. That, and also, to Kelvin's point, Coach Roll. I mean, I'm already seeing it. I'm a little behind on my spreadsheet, but I'm already seeing some impact of having him as the high school relations coach and just getting back into South Florida. And there's a couple Instagram pictures of Coach Gray down there at Dillard, making the rounds. I'm assuming, when he was down there for the Orange Blossom Classic PR tour, but you're seeing reaching out and having that connection across the state and having a high school legend across the state as your head of high school relations and helping to either initiate recruiting efforts or to mentor the graduate students over recruiting and introducing people, I think that'll bode for years to come. And also seeing, I don't know if they're reaching back to the strategy they had. You know, you can't really use it now since there is no typical red shirt now, but reaching down and maybe getting some players who are under recruited from the South Florida area and putting talent in the pit, in the black hole, so they just spring on people when there's their time to shine.
Good stuff. Everybody, let's transition from the coaches to the actual players. And we're going to talk about the new players. A new player that you're excited to see. And I'm going to take the QB1 off the board for everybody. So no, I'm going to take that off the board for everybody because that's the obvious one, right? I think we can all agree that would be obvious. Now, did anybody happen to notice our QB1 was left off of the Black College Football Player of the Year watch list?
Yep.
Did a whole show about it yesterday, right, Troy?
Yep. Somebody got to explain at least something.
Yeah, very dismissive of the two-time SIAC Player of the Year that led his team to a national championship and a conference championship, and he upgrades and goes to a Division I school, but somehow he's left off. But anyway, so obviously we know Isaiah Knowles is probably the A1 impact new player that we're looking at. So let's kind of go to somebody else. So as we go around the horn, let's think about somebody else. And I'm going to start with you, Keith. And we're going to go start with your side of the screen here. So Keith, why don't you give me somebody off the who's a new player, could be transferred, could be a freshman, whomever, somebody new that you're looking forward to this season.
Oh man, they're new and they're old all at the same time. His name is Quan Lee. I am super excited to see this football team and have him back in the receiver room. And I think that is where you kind of ask, we kind of lost Goldie. You got Quan Lee back, and I almost think they're almost interchangeable, kind of with what they provided. So I think the player that I'm really looking at that probably getting slept on a little bit is Quan Lee, and how does he respond to returning to FAMU?
Nice. J-Peeps, how about you?
So I got to stay in the wide receiver room, and I'm going to go with the guy that's been flashing the most in fall camp, Mike Peterson Jr. out of University of Florida. The thing I say that because, I'm going to go back to a previous Florida Gator who came onto FAMU's roster in the past, and TJ Lawrence. And one thing about me is like, if you're going to come from the SEC, which in my opinion, regardless of national championships, is still the toughest conference in the country, and based off draft picks too, you need to play and show that you're SEC material, and you need to display it even on this level. And from what we've been seeing and hearing in fall camp, he is every bit of a SEC type wide receiver, which is crazy how he got lost in the fold at Florida. But, Florida's always been one to play games and stuff, i.e. Derrick Henry, who they wanted to make a defensive end out of. But besides the point, you have an SEC type wide receiver on roster right now, and I think utilizing him is going to be a huge benefit to this offense. I think you're going to see a lot of flash and dash and a lot of speed, and I think it's going to start with him.
Good stuff. 2 wide receivers. Where you want to go, Troy? You staying in the wide receiver room, or you going to step
Absolutely
out?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
that's beautiful. And I talked about the wide receivers. That's beautiful. But how you win games is your big uglies. So I'm going to go with the group of big uglies. Mm-hmm. And contrary to popular belief, that offensive line is not light in the behind. They big, they tall, and they mean. I like this offensive line. I've been watching one particular guy all off season put in that work. I like this offensive line. They're gonna be mean and nasty.
Is it how many? I mean, is the entire offensive line new in terms of
No.
Okay.
No.
So what's that number look like in terms of returners? 1 or 2?
No
offensive line.
No. It was
like 3 or 4.
It was like, well, you mean starters or you mean just returners, period.
Starters.
Okay. So there's 3 guys that actually started at some point in their career with us. That would be Bridgewater, Michael Marshall, Kai Gaston. I think those are 3.
Okay. All right. New players. That's what we're looking for. Ashley, give me somebody new coming into the roster, onto the team that you're excited about for this year.
I'm excited about. I'm going back to the wide receiver room, and I'm going to say I'm excited about freshman Malik Denmark. He really showed me something at the spring game, and just seeing him. And at that point, he hadn't even graduated high school yet officially. So just to show his maturity and the way he kind of handled the spring game, and just to have a whole fall season, should I say, to get even better. We have some pretty good wide receivers that are in the room. And one has already been mentioned, but I'm looking forward to see. I feel like he can be a huge impact, maybe freshman of the year type player if he does the right thing.
Steve, Mr. Campbell, how about you?
Okay. I'm about to do the Homer thing just because. Man, I'm excited that my ATL nephew down there that's right there listening to everything that Isaiah Knowles is doing become my boy, and he got the most improved player, Amon Parker. So the future is bright. So how about that? Let's start there. So we gonna be straight. But I'm sorry. I just gotta go back because and man, shout out to my brother Keith Hadley. We sat in many of a press conference, and all we know is that balls couldn't go past 3 yards for several reasons. So I've got to go to Mike Peterson Jr. I'm sorry, because the kid is going to catch the ball. That's my thing, and what I've heard all through camp is he's going to catch the ball. He's been making plays and things like that. And for me, and let's remember what Coach said. We're going back to the Gulf Coast offense. Guess what the Gulf Coast offense needs? Guys to catch the ball. Because let's be honest, during all those years, and there's no disrespect to the running backs we had, but the stars in the offense were the wide receivers.
Exactly.
If I told you, if I said, give you $100, name the top 5 offensive players, this is going to be the quarterback and the wideouts. You probably would not be able to, and this is nothing against the negative running backs, but the offense was built around wide receivers making plays. And that was the thing that we lost many games again about wide receivers dropping balls. So that's my thing. So you're talking about, and I like what J-Peeps said, you're talking about a guy that has played SEC talent. He's an SEC, he's Mike Peterson Jr. I don't know if you remember his daddy. He was a linebacker beast at Florida. So the kid got football intelligence. So I'm going with him, and that's really, for me, that's what I'm excited about with the Gulf Coast offense.
Nice. FBI. All right, Tache. I gave you some time to think about it this time.
No, because now I'm last, and every single one, Ashley took mine. No. Everybody took mine.
0 for 2 with Tache now. All right, go ahead.
Yes. I don't know what to say now. I'm just going to say, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody took mine. We good.
All right. Marcus, Kelvin?
For me, in terms of a brand new player, really brand new, I'm looking at Rod McFadden.
Okay.
He won Player of the Year, Dade County Player of the Year. I can't remember which classification, but coming out of Miami Northwest, and he was kind of slept on, and then it just came up, and for us to get him, and hopefully it'll bode well. Now I don't know to what degree he's going to get into the starting rotation, but I'm really excited about that. Once I get to my point earlier about getting pushed around, and he's listed at 6 foot 310, and right now I think that makes him, in terms of weight, girth, that makes him, I think, our biggest defensive lineman. And so we're going to need that anchor because we were getting pushed around a lot last year. So for me, I'm excited to see his development and see, how, if and when he breaks into the starting rotation. I'm sure he probably gets some rotational time just because, we're going to need those bodies up front. But that's what I'm excited about.
Kelvin.
All right, I'm gonna go to the defense side of the ball too.
Okay.
And I'm gonna name 2 people that I'm excited about. Denzel Washington from Alabama, state linebacker.
Who?
He knows.
Washington.
And Denzel Johnson. Did I say Washington? Johnson.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we got a celebrity on the team.
yeah, we do. He is a celebrity. But Denzel Johnson, he knows the defense scheme. He already played for Ryan Lewis, and he started last year also at Alabama State, so he got experience. And that was the area where we lost Malcolm Major at the time, Nayron, Jason Rouse, Brian Norris, Jerome Nichols. So we lost a lot of guys. So him coming in and being able to start right away was really important. Then also, we've heard a lot about this kid. I want to see if it translates to Syracuse transfer, the edge, Camden Brown. You know, he's got great length. He's built. He reminds me of his built like Isaiah Land. So there's still development that can happen with this kid, but he seems to know how to leverage his length, and he has a good first step. So we had trouble getting to the quarterback, but last year we were at the bottom, so it's important that we established a number one pass rusher.
Okay. Tache, check the chat. Check the chat.
I see.
I tossed you one. I mean, you know, I don't want you to feel left out of the segment. I was going to take it.
No, literally, I literally was talking about the freshman receiver. That was my one. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay. The two receivers, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. There's a lot of new faces and some exciting. And you guys talked about a lot of guys in the wide receiver room, which leads me to really, it'll be interesting to watch Isaiah Knowles manage where the ball goes and how this offense flows with all these receivers. But a couple names that, as I was just looking at the roster that I didn't hear you guys mention, about Corey Petty, who actually came over from Albany State, right? And when you check out his numbers, I mean, look, here's a young man who, in his freshman and sophomore years, right, played in 11 games, and then his last season played in 13 games, and in his career has caught 80 passes, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Just somebody who knows the offense very well. So talk about having a good connection with his quarterback. And then how about the young man coming over from Edward Waters?
Yes.
Kieran Jackson from out of Jacksonville, right? Yep. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of him, especially on special teams. But it just shows how deep the wide receiving room is, right? So and then there's plenty of names. I think there's some names when we go to this returning, when we talk about returners, there are a lot of interesting returners. Campbell, I'll start with you. Returners. What's a returning player that you're excited to see them develop or maybe move into a higher elevation in terms of their role with this team?
It's one name and one name only. Jamal Haley. Jamal Haley could literally go 1,200, 400 in this offense. It without blinking. He could easily get 400 yards of receiving offense in this offense if they use him correctly. So I am super excited because now with a coach like Quinn Gray, now you can see him flare him out. Can you see him one-on-one against a linebacker doing a streak? I mean, it's not happening. It's not happening. So I think this is just a great and what I like about it was whatever coach, because he was in the portal, remember, let's not forget that. He was in the portal. And clearly Coach Gray told him, let me tell you how I'm going to use you for a couple of things. A, for you to play, and B, potentially get you to the next level. Because he has that type of third down back potential to get on a team. So, man, I'm super excited. Jamal Haley, 100%.
J-Peeps, how about you?
He stole mine. I was going to say the same thing.
All right.
I will say, like, looking at him from a physical standpoint in the spring game, he's changed a lot for the better. And I'm impressed. I'm blown away. Like, he's toned up, gained more muscle, exactly what you want out of a speedy back. Honestly, he's balanced. Honestly, reminds me of Alvin Kamara. But yeah, I'm like Mr. Campbell. I think he's a Swiss Army knife. You can do so many things with him. You can run it in between the tackles. outside the tackles. You can use him in screen game, put him out wide, probably in the slot, motion him out to like the X. And, linebackers, it would be foolish to put a linebacker on him, but I think some people in this conference are actually going to probably do that, which I hope they do, because that's a touchdown all day. But, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, Jamal Haley.
What is Hollow talking about? We don't have any big backs. Do we have a big back? Interesting.
We might, but everybody don't need to know about it.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, we keep secrets. 2
We
weeks away.
good.
Okay, good to know. Troy, I know you shook your head when Campbell said Jamal Haley. You got anybody else?
I do, but I want to put the SWAC on notice. That young man averaged 5 yards a carry. Y'all are being disrespectful.
Yes.
That being said,
yards.
We have a wide receiver that is 6'3", 208 pounds. Them little boys in the SWAC finna be a problem. 6'3", 208, Ace Cobb. He got something to prove.
Yeah.
In this offense, he could gobble them up like Pac-Man. This might be his year.
Yeah, he definitely got something to prove. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say it because all that size on me. Listen, and I'm pretty. That jugs machine needs to be going off all in his house, in his mind, because again, I don't know which game that was. I mean, how many times did he run past people? And I mean, it was there for the money. So, and again, that's what it is. So I'm with you, Troy. But like I say, that's the challenge. But that's why we get Ron Dugans, who actually caught the ball at Florida State, your alma mater. I'm gonna let you slide on that. Let the slide come across the track. On that. So I think that's again, I think that's when you look at coaches and they say, hey, this is what we're going to work on. I'm pretty sure Ron said, you come over here, young man. This is how we're going to work.
Kev from Tally, we're going to retire that name. All right. We're going to retire that, and it's RAC. We'll retire that name. Tache, I tried to come in the middle this time and not early, not at the end. So let's see what you got. What you got, Tache?
Yeah, I have a few.
She got a few. Okay, go ahead. Fire away.
But I'm not gonna take it from everybody else. I might take it from Ashley.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna take mine.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna go one offense and one defense. I'm excited. I want to see Baby Burris.
Exactly.
Baby Burris. That was your one.
I knew it.
Baby Burris is that's who I'm excited to see. I saw so many flashes from him, and I just like his commitment and how he stayed down with us, and I think he's gonna be a good addition to that room. And then of course I'm sure Nayron. I mean that's. When I got that news, I was like, oh, it's up. It's lit. Between him and, I was going to say somebody else, but I'll say that for somebody else. But yeah, so those are my two right there. Since I didn't get one last time, Bryan, I did two for this.
All right, there you go. Good makeup. Good makeup. Ashley, what you got? Did she take yours?
Yeah, both. Actually, I it was between Ace Cobb and Baby Bird. So I must be all in the wide receiver room tonight, but
all you guys are. I mean, that's amazing how strong.
But that
there was a lot to be decided, undesired from last. So we're just excited to see, some new, some returning, new coaching staff, new philosophies. Hopefully, some new abilities to hold on to the ball and things of that nature. So Ace Cobb, it wasn't mentioned that he was injured and kind of was playing for injury. So. Right. That he does have a lot to prove, but he also has, we're looking forward to him being healed and able to play at full strength rather than trying to nurse injury throughout the season. So I'm hoping to see him, be who I believe he could be, who we all, I'm pretty sure, believe he could be. And then Baby Burris, although he was young and he still is, I guess, technically young, he kind of gave like an old soul to me. He kind of had an old soul from a wide receiver standpoint to me, and just the way he ran routes, the way he would catch the ball, and you still had to tackle him because he wasn't gonna go down that easy. So I like his old spirit on the football field, if that makes any sense, from Baby Burris.
Wow. In case you're keeping count at home, of the 15 wide receivers on the roster, we have talked about 7 of them, just in case anybody's keeping score at home. Keith, where you at?
I mean, they definitely took mine because y'all know Ace is my guy. I know his mama. So, and I got to check to see if his brother is still in squad South Carolina State. That's one of the stories. That's an interesting story that nobody might be talking about. If Max is still in the team in South Carolina State, like a lot of just Orlando connections in that game. Of course, the band director of the Marching 101 is a FAMU graduate, Dr. Jamal Nicholas, and also graduate of the Great Jones High School, much like Ace and Max. But my guy is, you already know. I'm surprised. I know Kelvin knows. It's Ritter. Like Ritter is my guy. Like,
there we go.
and I was glad to see that he was retained because I felt some type of way at the end of the season last year. I felt like he was that guy that had those double middle fingers, and even with the coaching job that we got last year, he never let the effort show. Like you never saw that he just wanted to give up. Like he should have, but you could see where even if the coaches called him to do some little piddly stuff, he was throwing the helmet out there, ready to run on the field, high energy, high passion. And you know, you need those guys with that chip on their shoulders, a little bit of FU that want to run a man over.
That one was for you, Hollow. I think that was Hollow in there talking about. Nobody said anything about the tight end. Should we be worried about the room? There's Keith, right on call. Right on call. Kelvin, Marcus, what say you guys?
For me, I'm looking at Justin Bostic. He's coming out of high school, out of Palm Beach Central, if I remember correctly. I think he was one of the top players on a team that made it to, I want to say they made a state semis his senior year. And he had like 2 or 3 returns for touchdowns. And I was kind of wondering if he was going to crack the rotation on the return team. And I don't know, how he compares to the other players, but I think he has the potential. And now, the slate's kind of clean. And I think he got in, at least I remember seeing him a couple games late last season, maybe during the Florida Classic and maybe the Valley game. So I'm hope to see him crack the lineup. Not sure where the depth chart is going to fall, but that's what I'm looking at to see him get on the field and showcase the talent that he flashed.
And Bryan, I'm gonna give 2, and they both play the same position. But since we talked about how talented the wide receiver room is, I'm gonna add a sneaky name, Jamar Taylor. And when I went back and watched the season last year, and I watched like Pine Bluff game, and I forget the other one, he caught a couple of touchdowns, and he was one of the top returning receivers from the number of catches. I think he had 17, 18, something like that, and that's without a whole bunch of targets. So that's another receiver that is a return receiver that, with all the talent around him, probably going to have a lot of one-on-ones and some opportunities. Now, who I'm anxious to see, of course, Antonio Coleman and Darian Jones. We talk about the defensive front and how, we need to be productive there. And, Jones is 6'3", 287. I think he was the one that transferred in from Virginia. And then, of course, Coleman, I think came from Pittsburgh, but, they were both there last year. They were, they were productive, but now we got a different scheme going on. I want to see that talent escalate, right? Both of them got nice limbs, 6'3", 6'4". Jones is 287, so he can play inside and outside. Coleman is a true end at 240, 245. But man, if we get the production out of those two guys, man, with an offense we anticipate going to force teams to have to play catch up, man, that it could be the Billy Joe days. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right, good stuff. Nobody said anything about the kicking game, huh? That's a little bit surprising. Maybe
PTSD.
Somebody mentioned that. What's that?
He got PTSD.
All right. Well, maybe somebody will bring it up in the upcoming segments. When we come back from the break, I'm going to ask the Avengers how they define success. And we're going to talk about the X factors for this season. We're going to talk about the schedule, the important games, and then what all of you are waiting to hear from this group of esteemed panelists, their predictions. And so get your pens and pencils out, get the markers, because we know some of y'all are gonna hold us to these predictions.
That's all right. I said what I said, and I said it with my chest.
Don't care.
Right.
Exactly.
So somebody
I said
might,
it, and I meant it.
some folks might say lies might be told, but feelings will be hurt. So we will see on the other side how this group defines success. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button, however and wherever you're watching the show on YouTube and on Facebook. And we'll be back right after these words. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in primetime with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game, it's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins! The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain! Available now. Let the journey begin.
Do you own a business, have a service or product, apparel, entertainment, or food? Would you like to reach an educated client base that are loyal? Then the Urban Passport Business Directory is for you. The Urban Passport is your premier digital discount and media portal with the Urban Digital Television Networks and V108.5 radio properties embedded. Stay connected with the community with the latest news, entertainment, and HBCU sports and culture with the Black College Sports Network. Visit myjbn.com/passport to register your business and sign up for your free app before the August 24th release date. We are the premier digital national urban business directory, always free to the consumer. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book, and your digital passport to a world of savings.
Oh my God! This is your invitation to the moment. The Divine Nine, the bands, the parties, the performances, creating memories with your people. So pull up to the 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. It just hits different. Labor Day weekend, Miami Gardens, Florida. It's the culture, the connection, the pride. One weekend, one experience, one big community. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the O&G special edition of the Avengers here. Steve Campbell, Troy White, Tache, Keith, Ashley, J-Peeps. Everybody's here. Good to see everybody back. Just want to send a note to everybody to let everyone know this upcoming Saturday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. in the Al Lawson Center, it is Fan Day. A chance for you to meet some of these Rattler football players that we've been talking about. Some of these volleyball ladies, and Tamia Coleman, who you saw on the show, She will be there live and in person, so you can meet her. And then also members of our cross-country team as well. So all of those individuals you will see at Fan Day, of course, along with the coaches. I'm sure they'll probably have some posters and other stuff like that, and you can get that signed. But it's a good opportunity to come out and support the Booster Club. You can purchase individual tickets for $75, or you can buy, I think, a table for $600, I think was the number. I think that's right. Yep. I see a lot of thumbs
you are
up.
correct.
So good stuff. Good stuff. Show of hands. Who will be at Fan Day on Saturday? Ooh, Center Square. That's it, huh? Okay.
We got a golf tournament here in Winter Park. So Winter Park Kappas, we doing something with Kappa League. I'm taking my son with me.
All I heard was golf tournament, Keith. So, I mean, but that's okay. That's all right.
And football, so.
What's that? Oh, yeah, Pop Warner. Get that last weekend in before the season starts.
Yeah,
right.
Bucks and Chiefs are playing too, so I got season tickets for that as well. So
can't pass that up, guy. I'm telling you now. I mean,
ain't nothing like Buck season tickets. I ain't gonna hold you. Like Buck season tickets.
Exactly.
That'll change how you look at season tickets. I had Buck season tickets 1 year. All
right.
As soon as these kids got out of this house.
Okay, so let's get into talking about the expectations and how we define success. I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts on how you define success for this year. We know what the last season was. We know what the last 2 years have been. We know what we can't do this year. So, success. How do you define success this year? J-Peeps, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to try to keep mixing it up to see who goes first.
All right.
Don't keep people on their toes, Tache. J-Peeps, how do you define success this year?
Success this year, and I'm just going to state the obvious. Success this year would be blowing out Valley. It needs to. I genuinely want to be able to say that is a preseason game again. That needs to be a tune-up game. Isaiah Knowles should not even be playing in that game. We are so confident that we're going to win. That's a game where, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox in a second. That's a game where you don't even really watch the film. You just go straight into basically just 2 weeks of getting ready for Bethune. But honestly, success would be assignment sound. Success would be consistency. Success would be executing drives for touchdowns, getting turnovers on defense, scoring off of those turnovers. That's what success would be. Success would be, catching passes, getting completions, taking the check down, throwing the ball beyond 3 to 10 yards. It would be all that. Success.
You want that all season or in one game? What do you want?
I want that all season. I want that from August 29th all the way to November 21st. I'm traumatized right now from Jamarcus Wilson Jr.
You sound very scarred.
Between you and the people in the chat, boy, I've never heard so much people so focused on a school in the Delta. But anyway, okay. Campbell, Mr. Campbell, how about you? How are you defining success?
Listen, Coach Terrell Buckley got on the show and came on my show and said, this is his city.
Oh, God.
I want him to lead Tallahassee saying, I ain't never coming back to this city. That's success one. Let's start there. Second of all, when me and Keith go to these press conferences,
he did it. Wow.
Yeah, he said it. He said it on my show and on his coach's show. Shout out to my boy.
Okay, noted.
All right.
The second success is when we ask the coach a question that he actually won't say, I don't know. That's success number 2. Success number 3, and this is honest, is that we win the games that we're supposed to win. That is it. But if all 3 of those things happen, then I think we've had a successful season.
I see a lot of people. I saw a couple of people in the chat saying we're supposed to win the games that we're so. I mean, are we? So in my world, when I hear that, I'm thinking about numbers and expectation. When you say that, Campbell or Troy or whoever else wants to comment, what do you mean when you say games we're quote supposed to win?
we gonna get to the prediction, and they can kind of span on it then, Brian. Let's save that for the prediction.
I didn't know it was a predictive type of question, but okay, Troy, how do you define success?
Competence. Competence gives everybody amnesia for the last 2 years. Competent professional coaching, that gives you amnesia. We have not seen that recently. And we have a man who comes in and on his signing changes the direction of the program from fundraising to excitement on his signing. That's how bad it has been. If we get a coach that comes in and says, hey, these are our goals. Forget what us as fans feel like. These are our goals. This is how this team is going to react in these situations. They are going to be responsible young men. They're going to go to the classroom. All of that breeds success. That takes care of everything else on the field. If he does that, you ain't got to worry about Valley. They already blown out. You don't win games on Saturdays. You win games Sunday to Friday. Amen. That's when you win games.
Good stuff. Well said, Troy. Ashley, how about you?
So I'm going to start with a question to answer the question. And do y'all remember when Scar took over the Pride Land?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie.
Back and his mere presence, just like the sun came out all of a sudden. I remember that.
Yeah.
So just the presence.
Hey, wait, Ashley, I got a question. How old were you when the Lion King came out? How old were you?
Oh my goodness.
Where's the question?
I can feel your pain as a little child when you saw that.
And I ain't gonna lie, that scene did hurt.
It hurt you.
Boy,
he came back home, and just like the sun just came from behind the clouds, just magically from I don't even know how. And so to me, success is absolutely having a winning season, right? We don't. I'm not a loser. I don't believe in losing. I'm not going to accept losing. So a winning season, but I think we need to destroy a couple of homecomings. And I also think that we just need to have overall success and overall improvement. And I'm just hearing everybody else that's gone before me speak on what their level of success. And I just hear the standard is in the pits right now because we just want competence. So we need to raise the level of what we expect, including a Valley beatdown. And, people out here talking about West State City. No, Tallahassee is actually my city, actually. So no, it's not Valley City. And with that being said, we need to have a winning season. I don't want to put too much pressure to God here and be undefeated. That's okay. We're not necessarily undefeated, although I would love to see it happen. But what I will say is we need to be who we are, who our coaches, we know our coaches are, and we need to win some games and be some people that we should be and some people that we shouldn't be. That will put the icing on the cake.
Keith, go.
Man, look, to say you're going to catch it straight, it's okay. It's not your fault. But I think, I'm going to reference a Rattler businessman that's called Results Only Fitness. And I don't know if y'all saw Tache's birthday pictures, but look, Tache, we see you, family. We see you. She been in the gym getting it in. And for me, when it comes to FAMU sports, it's results. I love the semantics, but when we're considering the development, we got what we have at quarterback, and honestly, we have the quarterback of the future. You have a foundation set for FAMU. So for me this year, anything less than 8 wins is a not successful season, but I think it builds the next year. I think this is that year where, that's okay. Don't worry about us. You won't see us in the spring. There won't be any news. But next year, when we come over and Earl is over there screaming in the Georgia Dome saying, we saved the SWAC again, I don't want to hear it. So this year, I'm cool. It's 8 wins. But next year, on Earl, a very competent athletic director who brings money to his school. Y'all saw Earl brought $50,000 to Rickers. Boy, Earl, you doing the thing. Earl saved the SWAC. FAMU saved the SWAC. FAMU saved the SWAC again in 2027. And that's on Earl.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my gosh.
Got a wardrobe change.
that's wardrobe changes. Tache, thoughts? How do you define success?
I have 3 things I want to say. The first thing I want to say, everybody knows Even though I live in Atlanta, I'm from Miami, right? And there's a young man in Miami. He's now playing for Miami Carroll City. His name is Nick. They call him No Haircut Nick, right? Anybody know
Oh, I
the
saw
ma-
that.
That
the
boy
boy is
killer.
he's a beast, okay?
Yeah.
And what I like most about Nick, he was at Northwestern, he at Carroll City now. But what I like most about Nick is that when the game is on the line, he's that guy that the coach can trust to go to. He gonna call it out. He gonna tell you what he gonna do. He gonna say, Coach, this is what we gonna do. He's that guy. We haven't had in the last couple of years that guy. You know, the Bishop Bonnet, that when the game is on the line, Coach, put it on me. I can go and do. We ain't had that guy. So I think that if we get that guy, offense, defense, I think that that's success because I feel like there was no Rattler pride. There was none of that, that guy in any of our previous seasons. So that is one thing I'm looking for. That's success to me. That means that something has hit the field house, has hit our players. The second thing is that we do not ever in our orange and green life get blown out by 40 points in Bragg Stadium ever again. Okay? Because that is ridiculous. That's the second thing I define as success. The third thing I'm going to define as success is going to be, as our coach said, we play fast, physical, and smart football. And I believe if we do that, then we win the games that we need to win.
Marcus.
For me, I guess a couple things I'm looking forward, and I know this is Coach Gray's first year, and he's not going to treat it like a first year because he's not a new coach; he's a veteran coach. But I'm looking at defensive improvement. We need to be top 5 in SWAC or better. Better yet, even top 20 in FCS.
Yes.
Because that's a building block. And number 2, we have our 3 of our traditional rivals back again. So we got Tennessee State at home, we got Southern, and we got Bethune. I want to sweep, but at least 2 out of those 3 of our traditional rivals. And actually, we need to have a great game, even though I guess we probably would like to have a blowout against Tennessee State, but we need to revive that rivalry because I think this generation isn't familiar with the long history of that game. So having a good game with a Rattler victory at home would do well in terms of making sure that the feelings are resurrected. So there's more of a displaced feeling as it relates to playing Tennessee State than in years past, and we need to resurrect that. But those are my 2 keys to success.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Blocks.
So actually, inspired it's changed. Wardrobe changed, right? And just listening to everybody, we all seem very scarred from our experience last year.
No pun intended.
Exactly. So hopefully this shirt gets the mojo off us. Success for me is having some first team all SWAC performers at the end of the season. Success for me is the coaches and the SIDs predicting us to be in the top 2 or voting for us in this case to be at the end, at the end of the season, we're in the top of we're in the talk of the top of the SWAC standings. That's the standard for us. We used to being dominant. We used to being like, oh hell, here these MFers go. I want to be an MFer again. I want them to hate us, hate to see that orange string coming. So that's success for me.
Again, I seem to be getting called that every week on Twitter.
Now,
you
are doing a good job now.
You are.
Jeez.
I mean,
all right.
If you stop wearing your diamond earring, taking their aunties to the Sizzler, you wouldn't keep getting accused of stuff.
Moving on, Keith. From the chat, some of the folks, Hollow said success is having a winning season, not get blown out, beating Valley by 30 and winning the Florida Classic. Edwin, Snake beating the devil is success. Unbelievable. Little baby, success this year looks like not letting a team that hasn't scored a touchdown in a month score 5.
I agree.
That was so bad. That was
agree.
Southern University.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, EA winning the games you should win. There's that phrase again, and beating either South Carolina
that was
State.
Valley. That was
Valley. Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was Valley. Valley's the one who hadn't scored in a month, and they
scored 5 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That was Valley.
Southern was the team that Southern had some offensive struggles too, though.
They hadn't scored like more than 7 or 14, and they came and put like 30-some points on us too.
Yeah.
Didn't UAPB score pretty high on us too?
That was the most points they had ever scored against a FAMU team.
Yeah.
All right. We know the defense was bad. Let's move on. Let's not dwell too deep in that. Man, I'm just pointing out when people.
You get a point.
Yeah, exactly. What does that say? Run on.
No, run back, Cozy.
Oh, running back, run over. Okay, anyway, success.
Run them over.
Would not be letting teams convert 3rd and 17s into touchdowns. Yes, that would be pretty nice.
That was so bad too.
Yeah, 7+ wins. FAMU by 40 in the last 2 games. And you want Valley folks to have PTSD from hearing that cannon too much. Yeah, that'd be nice to see that cannon go off a bunch of times. JT said 8 wins is success. Woo, God, you guys are high expectations. Mary said for the family, she got to have some wins over Tennessee State, Alabama A&M, Bama State, and Bethune. So she just needs, go 4-0 so that she can have a little bragging rights in the house come Thanksgiving. Definitely. Tackling players and not air. That's about the most specific thing we've heard all day. Good
so
God.
bad.
We were tackling air?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We were, and in the class, we were covering air.
We were catching air too.
We were catching air. I don't know about
Exactly.
covering.
We were tackling players, and still they just ran past us. We grabbed them, and it was like
by a slow running back, running back running 5.0s, and they
taking air is free to a whole different level.
Marcus is getting NILs off of FAMU games.
Literally.
Max said getting back to the execution of the basic fundamentals and following through completing the assignments. Kenya winning every game in October. That's interesting as you look at the schedule there on the graphic.
Yeah, some homecoming.
That's the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Homecoming.
Success. Yeah.
This is kind of a little bit about what Steve and Keith were talking about. We that post game press conference.
We're gonna go in the field house, and we're not coming out till we figure it out. That was the answer all the time.
Oh yeah, we're not going home.
They're gonna stay there all night.
We're not going home till we figure it out.
That's crazy.
I really don't know what happened. We practiced it, but we're gonna go in the field house, and we're not gonna come out until we figure it out.
That was great coach speak, by the way.
You gotta say the word really like 5 times too.
It's the only thing you could say between that and then making wide receivers run after the game, after the Florida song. I mean, that's really all you can do.
Yes.
That's. I mean, what else did you want them to do? I mean, come on now.
Catch the ball.
They
why are they running?
We got to do better. We got to find some guys who want to play underrated Rattler football.
All right. You guys.
Don't ask me about my quarterback.
You guys are funny. Okay. Next up, X factors that will. Let me go to the important games on the schedule. I mean, you see the schedule up. What's the stretch of games that's going to most impact that successful season that you're looking at there? You see the schedule, the first half of the season on the left-hand side of the screen, starting with Albany State, going into the Alabama State game on the road. Then the second half of the season begins in Jackson. That's back-to-back road games. And then, of course, it ends with the rival. 2 trips to Mississippi. Everything else is in Florida, last 6 games of the year. Let's see. Who hasn't gone first? Ashley, you haven't gone first, have you?
I don't think so.
All right, Ashley, we'll go to you. What's the game or stretch of games that's going to be the determining factor of the success of this season?
So I would happen to be listening to one of the interviews that Coach Gray was doing. I'm not even sure which interview it was, but he made a statement about playing multiple champions throughout this season, at different levels, whichever level it is, either a champion or someone who was in a championship game, like University of Miami. So it kind of really had me thinking, because I was like, I mean, does that happen often that you get one team in one season to play three different teams who either won a championship or was in a championship game at a different level? That's pretty interesting. So the biggest game and stretch for me actually is around that University of Miami game, mainly for the sake of preservation. Not that the other games aren't important, but I don't, oftentimes you lose linemen and, those highly important players. Like you might lose a DB, you might lose a receiver, you probably have a replacement or something that's comparable, but it's hard to lose D linemen and O linemen when you're playing teams that are potentially much bigger, potentially much more physical, and then to come back and play, go from South Carolina State, who is typically physical, to then go to Miami, who is physical, and then you go and just keep going, and it's all happening with it. Sorry, I do have multiple degrees. I just had to say that. But you have a stretch of like a lot of physical football in a short period of time, and we got to make it through the rest of the season. So that's, for me, I'm just praying real hard, doing all the things to make sure that hopefully we can get through that stretch so that we can actually play some quality SWAC football. And while we may not be able to do postseason, we still have something to play for and win these games.
A lot of folks seem to really be on that early stretch of the season. Tache, how about you?
Yeah, so I'm going to go a little different from my girl this time. I'm going to say that Bama State game starts us because, in my opinion, we'll be who we are at this point, right? We'll kind of know who we are. We will have played South Carolina State. We will have played a SWAC game, Tennessee State. That Bama State game, definitely going into Jackson, we'll know exactly who we are as a team, offensively, defensively. And I believe that stretch, like Kenya, kind of like what Kenya was saying, that October stretch, we got to go on the road because we're going to Bama State, we're going to Jackson, and I think that if of those 4 games, right? So that's Bama State, Jackson State, UAPB, and Southern. If we are able to land 3 of those games of the 4, I think that we have a very good potential for this to be a 8-9 game, winning type of season. So I think that stretch that begins, I think it is in October. It is. So that stretch that begins in October with Bama State, we'll know who we are. We will be who we are. And I think if we pull out at least 3 of those games, I think we have a very good chance to win 8 or 9 games for this season. So that's my opinion.
Nice. Troy, go.
I hate to piggyback off of that, but there's no reason for me to look into September because South Carolina State couldn't be cozy. So there's no need for me to even put any thought into that.
But that's with Daniel Richardson. That wasn't with that man who's gonna throw past 5 yards.
Jamarcus Russell Jr. That's what we call him.
That dude we've been telling y'all was sorry, but some of y'all didn't want to listen. We told y'all he was mid, but it's okay. You can not believe your lying eyes.
What are you talking about, Keith? You're not talking about the guy who was a preseason watch player guy. Is that what you're talking about, Keith?
The guy that reminds me of Brucey from Longest Yard. That's what he's talking about.
But my birthday month is October.
Oh boy!
And in October, we got 3 homecomings, and we don't lose homecoming. Alabama State is important because that's a get back. It's a dude in Birmingham, Alabama that's still talking about how he got to celebrate and brag. Doug need to pay. Jackson State, I'm finna collect some Lee press-ons and eyebrows. It's get back time.
I was drinking when he said that.
UAPB, again, we don't lose homecoming. I'm expecting us to have a good showing. And then Southern got a piece back, but let's be honest, with the piece that they got back, they were still playing on their stomach all last season.
Yeah.
They ain't flipped that roster to where it's gonna be instantly better. They're gonna be better, but not the way they should be. So October is our big month. That's gonna determine everything. And I need to say this here first. That little poll that the SIAC, the CIAA, the SWAC, and the MEAC all agreed to, there are no parameters on who can be national champion.
That's correct.
You can still win a black college national championship. So the season is not, we have nothing to play for. Stop telling that lie. Quit putting out your think pieces. FAMU still FAMU, and y'all still ain't.
already petitioning to the pollsters and the voters out there. Keith.
I think it's really the first half of the season. Like I was looking really at that. At first, I was looking at the Alabama A&M, the Jackson State section, but then when I really looked at the first half, there's only like 2 teams that you just kind of like, all right, we should blow them out. But everybody else, if you don't come to play up until the Jackson State game, it can get very interesting. So I think that first half of the season up to Jackson State is really where you find out really what this is, because if you come out of there with less than 3 wins at that point of the season, it kind of is what it is, you know. So, and also homecoming. Look, that Plies concert is the day after my birthday. I'm already plotting. Like I don't normally take homecoming off, but I might have to take off for the day party. All white, Tallahassee. Come on now.
Boy, I love how you guys plan things around your birthday. I want to try that. All right, J-Peeps, go ahead.
So for me, the most important stretch of games, I got to go to October, honestly. October and then like into that final stretch into November. Because honestly, I mean, spoiler alert, I think we're going undefeated at home this year. But, you know, coming out of that bye week, you know, you got 2 homecomings there. Those 2, you will be tested. And then October 24th, you know, Arkansas Pine Bluff scored the most points they've ever scored in 3 games against FAMU last year. I need to hold that. They need to be held to at least 7 field goal or nothing when you see them on homecoming. That needs to be a defensive shutout or a strong display of defense. You already know how I feel about Marshall Faulk. He doesn't have success when he comes to Florida, for whether he was a pro player or, quite frankly, you're going to find out too as a coach. He got lucky when I think he was at Colorado when Colorado won, but I mean he wasn't the head guy. Going to Alcorn, you know, they don't have any cell service there, from what I've heard. Look, pardon my French, just kick their ass and get out of there. Again, Valley's Valley, you're going undefeated at home this year, and then look, you embarrass Bethune-Cookman. So I do think like if you can get through October unscathed, you can get a clean sweep in November.
Steve.
Well, here's the thing. I probably talked to half of the coaches that we were going to play, and it's not a month, it's games. So one of the most important stretches is 3 games: Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Jackson State. Why is that important? Because Alabama A&M could literally come into Bragg 4-0, and we could either be 2-2 or 3-1. That's going to be a determinant of the next 2 games, because we're playing 2 teams that are predicted to possibly be in the SWAC championship. Alabama State's the number 1 team, homecoming. The next stretch is 3 games: Alcorn, Valley, and Bethune. So those 3 games, those 6 games will determine what we look like. So the question will be with Coach Gray, and this is why coaching matters. You got to beat Alabama A&M, because if you don't beat Alabama A&M, then we're not really not what we thought we are. You can understand close games against Alabama State and Jackson State, but Alcorn, Valley, and Bethune can determine the season. So those are the 3 games. So when I look at those 3 game stretches, I want us to play strong in the first 3 and finish up strong with the last 3. That's what I'm looking at.
Nice. Marcus, Kelvin.
For me, you know, it starts with Alabama A&M. They played us a lot closer than I would have expected even last year. And having that running back break, was it like an 80-yard run? and it was like, no disrespect, but it was like
and it took 10 minutes for them to get there.
It was
could have had a hourglass. I was like, oh my gosh, and we still didn't catch them. So it's like Alabama A&M first, but that's that 3-game stretch because the excitement is high now for the season. And if our first 3 SWAC games don't go in a positive way, a lot of that good fortune, a lot of that, the honeymoon, all that stuff, I don't know. They might start looking at the preacher like, are you sure you want to do, So, yeah, me for Alabama A&M, Alabama State, especially for their homecoming, we're playing arguably the number 1 team in the East and prohibitive favorite to be a SWAC representative, and then Jackson State, with 2 of those games away.
And I just be real quick. My projection is going to mirror some of the things that have already been said. The only thing I want to say is the road game. That's what I'm focused on. Alcorn, Alabama State, Jackson State. How we look, even if we don't win them, how we look is really important, that we're competitive. So those are the 3 most important games for me.
All right. A little trivia question here before we get to asking the important question about predictions. Let's see. Let's quiz the Avengers here. When was the last time FAMU recorded a defensive shutout against a Division I opponent?
It was either South Carolina State or Alabama State, and it had to be 20, somewhere around 20.
I think it was 2021. 2021. I want to say, I think it was Alabama State.
Yeah, they had a freshman quarterback. That's the last one.
J-Peeps. Look at J-Peeps. Kelvin was dancing around and he was in the ballpark. J-Peeps just went right for it. Just, attacked the fastball and just took it out the park. Yes, it was October 2nd, 2021 against, as you guys pointed out, Alabama State, 28-0. And if I'm not mistaken, anybody know what was the significance of that particular game?
Marcus just said it.
I think that's when Isaiah.
I didn't hear Marcus. I'm sorry.
I think Isaiah Lane has breakout game that game.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yes, it was. It was the breakout game for Isaiah Land in that game. Good catch. All right, good stuff. I can't throw anything by you. I'm going to have to come up with some better trivia questions in the future. Okay. Well, we come to that point in the show where, maybe some people might say lies get told, feelings get hurt, predictions must be made. On the record, we're no longer in that phase of being 3-4 months away. We know what we got in front of us. We know what the team looks like, kind of, as best as we can tell. It's time to make some predictions. Who would like to go first? I know some of you like to sit in the background and wait to see what everybody else does, and then other people don't want to go first. I
can go first. I can go first.
I'll go first.
All right. We'll go Campbell and then Peeps, and then we'll keep going from there. All right, it's prediction time. Let's go. What do we got?
I mean, my floor is 75. My ceiling is 8-4, and that's really what I'm looking like. And this goes back to winning those games that we talked about, and stuff like that. I expect us to be Albany State. Hey, a lot of people have South Carolina highly ranked. I'm really concerned, or I want to see what their quarterback situation is going to look like. Defense is going to be tight. We should beat Tennessee State. We should beat Alabama A&M. I don't believe we're going to beat Alabama State or Jack State. Pine Bluff, we should beat them. We've been beating Southern even when we were bad. So that for us to get this 8th win, it all comes down to going to Lorman, Mississippi. And can we get a win there? If we get that, then we're in good shape. But I think, again, my floor is 7-5. The ceiling is 8-4.
All right. Let's see. EA is going with 7-5 or 6-6. J-Peeps, what you got? You wanted to go second. What you got?
So for this season right here, I've got 8-4. for this year. Honestly, I do think that I had us losing both these road homecoming games, and I think at that point people kind of start to. And I'm not saying like any of us, but I think people outside may start to like kind of question this process and everything. But I think that's where you get a situation where this offense kind of really like picks up and they kind of catch their wind. Things slow down for them. They come out of that game. They come into our homecoming on an emotional high. They want to make a statement. And I think that's where you kind of tear off 5 wins at the end and you see point production kind of go up. But I do think that like this team can definitely go undefeated at home this year. Looking at who is on the home slate, the one in Miami that was tricky for me. It's going to be a chess match between Ryan Lewis and KJ Black because KJ Black did time with Sean McVay, and for those of you that are NFL junkies, Sean McVay he's an offensive guru. He's got the Rams rolling for a reason. So the fact that KJ Black did time with him, it kind of makes me worry the exotic offensive blocking schemes. So, I just want to see how that chess match goes. But if you can go in there, you can go down to Miami and pull that off. I think that, we're talking about maybe 9-10 wins.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still sticking to 8-4, though.
Oh, sticking to 8-4. Okay. Anybody else there to step out there on that edge? Come on now. Don't be scared.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I think my floor is 7-5. But I will say this. I don't think we will on this side of the board. I think that we, Albany State, of course. South Carolina State is I'm like J-Peeps. That's the one that I'm a little concerned. That's a tricky one for me. I'm not sure yet. But if we win that game, that says a lot to me. That shows me a lot. We should beat Tennessee State and we should beat Alabama A&M. Now, they always play us tough, but I think that they'll take their step next year. I think that they take their step next year. But I think we should get them this year. Alabama State, I don't see us winning that one. Now, I may be the lone wolf about this, but I'm not sold on Jackson State. I'm not sold on anything they got going on over there. So, to me, what I will give them is that it's homecoming. They're going to be hyped up. It's going to be all the things. But I'm not sold on them as a shoo-in. So, to me, that's a toss-up. Of course, I believe we beat UAPB Southern. I'm not even concerned. Sorry, Raya. Y'all know my daughter's a Jag, but we're going to beat that. But now, Alcorn is another tricky one, only because I know that their coaches, he's basically playing for his job. You know what I'm saying? And so he's in a contract year. It's a make or break year for him. And so I think that every game that they feel like they can win, should have won last year, all the things that they're going to try to win. And so we got to go to them late. I think we play them November 7th or something like that, sometime in November. So I think that, while I think we can and should beat them, I don't think it's going to be an easy thing. Valley, I'm not even discussing that, okay? And Cookman, I feel like we need that get back. So I think we'll be all right there. I'm not impressed with them. It's not too much that I've seen there. Not saying that, but I'm not necessarily impressed with Cookman. So my floor is 7-5, but I do believe that if I see what I think I should see on this first side, that we could win 8 or 9 games.
Who else? Come on. Step on in the batter's box.
So I'll go ahead and go. We PTSD make you gun shy.
No, it doesn't. Facts matter. No. It's no such thing as gunshot when you ain't getting shot at. So ain't nobody on here getting shot at.
No. So I'll say this: the floor for me, the floor is 9-3. That's the
why
floor
you gun shy, because you just be safe.
Wait a minute, you said what?
He said the floor is
9-3.
The floor.
The stretch that determines everything for me again is October. It is absolutely October. That's the stretch. I don't, again, based on what I've seen, based on what everybody has reported, and again, Jackson State, Alabama State, those are the two classes of the East. They are absolutely the classes of the East. But Alcorn is a winnable game. Tennessee State is a winnable game. South Carolina State is a winnable game. We don't have any games on our schedule that we cannot win. Like, we absolutely can't win.
One.
We have something
I'm
that.
about to say, Troy, come on now.
Well, hold on. I mean, outside the
Seminole coming out.
outside the Ivy, I'm not talking about the
I won't let them do it.
Listen, I'm not talking about the Ivy speaker.
Okay.
Okay.
We got winnable games in the front part of that season. And like I said before, Orange Blossom Classic, Tennessee State game, we win those games, we might be cooking with something. Then you go into October with momentum. That's why my floor is 9-3.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And for all those people that like to watch the FAMU shows, I ain't hard to find. Lee press-ons or eyebrows. You see what the tag is. You know how to find me.
Beautiful. Well said, Troy. 9-3 is the 4. I love that. I love that. All right, who's next? Come on now.
I can go next.
Go ahead.
We didn't have a coach last season. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can go. Y'all wouldn't believe how many times I was counted how many games we could win. I'm like, I keep landing somewhere on 9-3 personally. 8-4. I'm fluctuating between like the 7-5, 9-3, whatever that means, because there's so many variables that matter in each one of these games. Because most people are giving away the Alabama State and Jackson State game, and I agree with Tache when I say that I'm not really convinced on Jackson State. I have to see some things, see who they are by the time October 17th comes around to be a believer of them. Alabama State, they are who they are. But when you just sit down and count it, I'm just like, if we go 7-5, something really would have had to happen, technically, or we're just not who I think we could be. And, with the combination of coaches and schemes and all those types of things. So I'm really hard to go 7-5. I'm really more like an 8-4, 9-3, but I am fluctuating. I do leave room for the 7-5 to happen. But anything less than that, I don't like it.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in. So I think Troy and Lord Jamal might like what I'm finna say. Because I'm finna go there a little bit. So I've actually tried to be reasonable, and I put out there, anybody who looked at the Substack article understand my floor is 75, and it's only 75 because everything goes wrong. You get injuries, Isaiah get hurt, that kind of stuff.
Something
so that's the reason I'm leaving the floor at 75. That's a worst case scenario. I have, like Ashley and a lot of other people said, I have 9-3 as the ceiling right now, and that's just being really conservative. What I would say is this, and I hope you can get in your feelings if you want to. Jermaine came in and won the SWAC in year 1.
Yeah.
Tennisbury hadn't lost the game to a MEAT team yet. Mm-hmm. This FAMU team, with everything that you want to say about us from last year, was 3 plays away from being 8-4. We still finished 4-4 in the SWAC. Yeah. We are very talented. I say we have the best coaching staff in the SWAC. We have a quarterback that could be the best in the SWAC. He's a proven commodity. Mm-hmm. And anybody who knows FAMU history understand that when FAMU has a signal caller who is elite, mm-hmm. we win championships. Mm-hmm. So it would absolutely I'm sorry, you talking about Alabama State, Jackson State, they homecoming. I don't give a flying bleep about that. All right. You got the games played on the field. We done talked about 7-8 deep at wide receiver and the fast pace of the offense. We're going to be tough to keep up with. And so as I think it was Troy who pointed out, we absolutely can beat everybody outside of Miami on the schedule. But everything has to go right there too. You know, you have to be, you have to avoid injuries. You have to win some games close, lucky, whatever the case may be. But from a talent and coaching standpoint, I believe we got a shot at the Black College National Championship. I believe we can run and take it. I firmly believe that. But a lot has to go right. That's the only reason I'm saying 9-3. But the SWAC ain't that hard to win though.
He ain't never lied.
Hey. Who still hasn't gone out? I know I haven't gone. Marcus hasn't gone. Who else? Keith, you gone?
I haven't gone. I'm gonna go.
Right.
I think I'm very similar to Kelvin. I think the floor is 7. I think the floor is 7. The ceiling is 9 or 10. I think there are some winnable games. I do think the only non-winnable game is the game. I'm with y'all when it comes to Alabama State. Like, can he stay healthy? Can he not stay healthy? That is absolutely a question of mine. But overall, I think the majority of the games are winnable. And I know that ugly behind thing is at the end of our schedule. But sometimes you got to give people credit. And when you show up, only one or two things gonna happen. You either gonna kick ass or you're gonna get your ass kicked. And otherwise, and if you don't, at the end of the day, you're gonna get a deduction. So we don't play like Wildcats. We're gonna beat some Wildcats, but we are going to win some games. And I think it's gonna be a fun season. Y'all are gonna enjoy it. But I'm looking forward to a lot of fun. And Troy, September 2nd, I might not be able to produce because I definitely put in for credentials for that UCF Cookman game because I kind of want to see it in person. But yeah, like, I definitely am excited. I think it's gonna be a great season, and I think a lot of the FAMU faithful are gonna come away very impressed. I anticipate if we do what we need to do, this can be a transformational year for FAMU, not just athletically, but on the field, off the field. We saw the results last night. Don't take your ass up there and vote for Rocket Raccoon as your next governor. You need to get jolly with the rest of us because he's already said what he's going to do. And you've had people already telling the students what to do. So we know what to do. And it can be a transformational year at FAMU if we do what we need to do.
Marcus.
All right. I got us at 8-4. I think like everyone else, I think the ceiling is 7-5, but I got 8-4. I got, losses to, I think it's gonna be a close one to South Carolina State, Miami. Already right now went off, and I think it's gonna be a tough road to hoe at least in year one to get through Bama State and Jackson State. But everything else,
we do have open week before Bama State, by the way.
Yes, it's
true.
We
do. So
it'll 2 weeks to prepare.
That'll be, and also, given, I'm not wishing anything, but Alabama State's quarterback has a history of not finishing the season. So we'll have to see. I don't know what their first 4 games look like. But, things go a certain direction, that might be a different outcome. But that happens at right now at 4.
I do want to add with Bama State, people keep saying that if and I'm not disagreeing about body staying healthy, but I think that a lot of people are discounting the fact that their number 2, Smoot, is that guy. He's a guy as well. Like, he is a great quarterback as well. So Bama State, whether one goes down or not, they Smoot is really good. Smoot could definitely, if Body had decided to go and do what he was planning or trying to do, Smoot definitely would have been the guy, and he would have been a good quarterback, QB1 as well. So that one kind of concerns me, but we gonna see. I want to see South Carolina State.
Smoot didn't play against Jackson State or us, or
Smoot got in.
I understand. I know what he did. But I think the reason why some of us, at least I'm gonna speak for me, the reason I'm not saying he's not capable. It's that say he's that dude, right? But until you do it against, traditionally big dogs, then okay. That's the way I look at it. Okay. You did it again until you posted.
Did he do it against PV? Didn't he play against PV?
He did play against PV.
He did.
Yeah.
Can I bring up something that nobody talks about when it comes to Alabama State?
What's that?
And it might be relevant to us. Last season, their defense wasn't typical Alabama State.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah, they gave up
It was
points.
not.
So
Yeah, it wasn't.
we talking about Alabama State like we look at them as complete.
And we do have
Their
that linebacker.
losses,
Are you basing that, Troy, on what? The fact that they gave up how many points they gave up?
how many points they gave up, and then how they lost games.
Yeah.
How they lost is more
I mean,
important.
how many games did they lose? No, they lost 2 games.
They lost
How?
2 games.
How?
But how
How?
they lost those 2
Yeah,
games?
how? But I feel like a lot of the reason, a lot of their issues, we talking about their play caller, and they got a new one. And Tony Hull ain't no slouch. Like you know what I'm saying? Tony Hull is pretty good. And I'm interested to see how him and Body will work together. But I mean, this ain't to get on that. But I think that if we split those 2 games, Bama State, JSU, if we can split those 2 games, I think we're in real good shape to be at that ceiling that everybody's talking about.
Also, so Smoot in that game against PV, when he came in, he was 4 of 9 for 42 yards and 4.7 yards average. He didn't pass for a TD or an interception. Really, neither him or Body threw touchdown passes or interceptions. Everything that they got was 4 rushing TDs.
And that's going to be the key for us because
Body threw. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm talking about just like those 2 games. Jackson State and Alabama State ran up and down the field.
They did.
Yeah.
North Carolina Central also ran up and down the field.
Yeah.
We were a sieve against the run.
So if we solidify that run defense and attempt to at least try to make them one-dimensional, then it allows you to focus more on shutting down or limiting big plays in the pass game and being able to get off the field. But if you can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day. So that's why, in terms of the rush defense on our end, right now I have those 2 games as L's, but it may change my perspective if I see something a little more stout at the beginning of the season, because that was our Achilles heel last year. And if you can't do that, then you're always on the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I think everybody else has given their prediction, so I'll go. My floor is 8-4. My ceiling is 10-2. I really think if the back-to-back road trips go well and we do split like a lot of you guys tend to think, the rest of the schedule shapes up pretty good. So anywhere between 8-4 and 9-2, is a successful season. And I think we are in the hunt to we go 9-3 or 10-2. If that were to happen, we would actually definitely be right there in the polls. It'll be tough for the polls to look otherwise, because that would mean we have beaten 2 of the 3. Right. South Carolina State, Alabama State, Jackson State. We've beaten 2 of those 3 if we're going 10-2. And a lot of eyes will be like, oh, maybe they are that good. And so, not backing down on that one bit. And I like, who was it? J-Peeps, you said 6-0 home?
Yeah, I think they go undefeated at home this year.
I think that's very possible as well.
We need to restore home. We got to restore home. Let that cannon fly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run out of ammo.
Run out of ammo. Exactly.
Club Brad, the light show, and the DJ, the band, the fan, and the cannon.
And the cannon. Y'all can have all kind of.
It's going to be loud. Everything.
It's gonna be
right. Overload.
Yes.
Sensory overload.
Look at the educator.
Sensory overload.
I will be in the north end zone.
All your senses gonna be touched in some way.
Keith, you've been in north end zone. You better be in that press box covering this story. You did drop some good hints there for Gerald. You know Gerald watched the show. So you gave some good a good piece on the Orange Blossom Classic game. That might be worth somebody investing some time to cover and do a story on. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, again, that has brought us to the end of our segment with the Avengers. We look forward to seeing you all down the road during the course of this season. Let's make sure we give the plugs as we go around the horn. And you guys, a lot of you guys are already following these folks, but let us know what's the next show, what you got going on for this upcoming season, et cetera, et cetera. Ashley, Tache, I'll go to you, ladies.
Yeah, we're kicking back up.
Yeah,
the season is starting, so you can make sure to catch us on our YouTube channel. We'll be there on Tuesdays this season, so make sure that you catch us there. Of course, like, share, subscribe, but also pick a tier, become a member of Fang Exchange. Go to www.fangexchange.com to become a member. Ashley's gonna give all of our socials and everything else.
Yeah, we're Fang Exchange on all socials. So just find us Facebook, X, Instagram. We are gearing up for our next cohort. Our first cohort was last semester. They were instrumental in helping us pull the tailgate together and do some other things behind the scenes business-wise. So we are in the thick of revving up for our next internship with our students. So not only do we give opportunities to our student athletes, but we give opportunities to our students who are looking to get experience and gain experience in the business side and the business functions and of the sports world for meaningful and true experience and resume building opportunities. So we're revving up for that. If you have a student who is a Rattler that you know of, the positions, there will be some advertisements going out over social media, but the positions are posted on Handshake through our in partnership with our university through the Career Center. So we even had an opportunity to partner with them, and we're going to take this thing to the next level. Our memberships are trickling upwards. So let's keep it going and make sure you do the free things, which is like just subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's one thing that's a strong push for Fang Exchange, is that we want to get subscribers to the YouTube channel. So remember to come and see us and help us get to our next level from YouTube. So check us out on FangExchange.com, Fang Exchange on all social media platforms, and be on the lookout because there's more to come.
Any news about the tailgate? First game, Albany State?
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I
forgot about that.
Forgot about it. Yes. I got partnering. Thank you. We need
what we drinking?
We joining the Rattlers in arms.
BYOB.
Yep. So we have joined in. So make sure you get your ticket for the tailgate, the first home game. Tell them Fang Exchange sent you. If you weren't already going, come hang out with us. We'll be there hanging out with the Albany State Rams as well as our Rattlers. Have us a good time first home game. And make sure you're there.
You're all gray. Make sure you're there and you're all
Make sure you wear your gray too.
You gotta wear gray.
We want some other partnership opportunities for
First home game is the gray game.
So make sure you come back tailgate.
Find gray now.
Great guys.
Great guys.
Jay, I'm right there with you. I'm like, damn, I got to find some gray.
Yeah, for real. I gotta
Yo,
go.
O&G shirt. You got 2 O&G shirts that gray.
Good for it.
Get that gray. Get it right.
You gonna be working anyway, Brian. Why you playing?
I'm glad I know now. I got about a week to
All
get
right.
ready.
Good stuff. Marcus might be hollering at you ladies. NIL deal. Thoughts, ideas. Just giving you a heads up. Ashley, Tache might be getting contact. Yeah, from Marcus. Mr. Campbell, let people know what's the next great show that you guys got going on.
Well, first of all, let me just say this in a private mode. I got a chance to talk to Ashley for about an hour and a half about some good business. Totally brilliant. Tache, I also gave you great brilliance yourself. Got some big things coming up. Ashley knows what I'm talking about. Some really big things we're working on. But listen, man, sipping on Sundays is going to be on Mondays. So we had to move it from Sundays to Mondays because we got to break everything down. Because, Brian, we don't want to conflict with all you guys on Sunday, so we're moving it to Monday. You know, we got the HBCU Coaches Corner. I'm working on getting Coach Gray on, so hopefully I might be able to get him on for the Albany week. So we're working on that. And I will just say I will have every one of you on Sipping on Sundays. Kelvin came on there, had a really good time. Keith is going to come on there. I already told Ashley and Tache we're working on that. So listen, and Brian, let me say that, bro, we got to get you on there because, boy, you public enemy number one. Folks right here talking about your neck. Well, listen, I'm used to folks do shows about our show. Matter of fact, PV folks doing a show about my show right now. I'm about to jump on. So, Brian, listen, I'm just going to give you some advice for somebody. Listen, bro, it ain't real life. Them folks ain't real. And especially when somebody got an AI picture. Don't never be mad at somebody that you don't know what they look like.
Correct.
So don't ever listen. I'm giving you some good advice. Do not ever do what you do. Use a rattler, okay? You a rattler. Help them folks, bro. because I'm just keeping a fuck with you. Don't let them folks, because they try to do shows on me every week. They never see me sweat. So Rattler to Rattler, you do a great job. Man, don't let them folks sweat you, man. See y'all.
They're going to do all that talking and they ain't going to put up no eyebrow.
Appreciate it. Because they fake. They all robots.
They don't have eyebrows, huh?
No.
Well, all I know is they better get ready to get another AD.
Oh, too soon, Kelvin. Too soon.
Wow. God.
Troy, go ahead. Well, let people know when's the next show coming out for you.
So the next show is tomorrow night, Thursday night. It will be a call-in show. I will post the telephone number on our socials. You will be able to call in. Please call in. This is actually a precursor for something to come in the near future. You want to be a part of it, call in. I love to hear. I talk to everybody. I don't have no problem with nobody. I love everybody. Some people I just don't like. Sometimes I don't want to hear that Glee Club in Daytona. It's okay. It's a personal preference. But tap in, have a good time. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We just had, I don't know if anybody been paying attention, but we just had a ruling that allowed players to come back that were not eligible. And a lot of people in the uproar about players that didn't get drafted but was on squads in the NFL that are now coming back. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into a few other things. And if you feel like I said something that you didn't like tonight, it's okay. Contact your favorite podcaster. Tell them to put that eyebrow up. You can find me at watch.fatmouthsports.net. That'll take you to our YouTube channel. Tap in. Let me know how you're feeling. Tell it. You know what? I even say it ain't even got to be a swag personality. If you feel like you one of them Bama people, you know where to find me. It's an eyebrow. As always, lead with love. I'll see y'all Thursday.
It's all about love.
Said all that to say
people.
Love.
Right.
Keith, what do you got, Keith? Go ahead.
Oh man, appreciate it, Bryan. Getting ready Thursday, be producer for Troy, but also could be talking about both the Arkansas Pine Bluff and Southern games this week. Toothless Tigers. Neither one of them have had any success against FAMU since they've been in the SWAC. So just kind of talk about those two games and some of the basketball signings. I know Marcus and I didn't get to talk about it. So, you know, some of the things that are just getting us excited about the signings, some guys that are very tall on the basketball roster. So excited about that. And also just trying to somewhat expand the brand a little bit. So I definitely applied for credentials for the BCU Alabama State game over there in Daytona, as well as the UCF Cookman game, just to one kind of get into those rooms, but also to like build that relationship. You know, we all rivals. We love to have fun. We talk trash all day long, but in all honesty, we want what's best for each other. And so sometimes we talk about exposure, but how many of us are willing to go out there and do it? So, you know, hey, Daytona's a 30-minute ride. Bryan, if you want to ride to Daytona, we don't play that weekend when they play Alabama State. We can definitely carpool Troy, you know, make it a guy's trip. So, you know, and we can stop at Buc-ee's on the way and get some barbecue. So, but yeah, so that's what I'm working on. You ain't got to stop. You ain't got to get ready when you stay ready. So, you know, that, and then football season, we're going to be doing the post games, and we got some real good news coming up for you. I ain't going to share everything. You got the Avengers reuniting and doing some amazing things together.
Good stuff. Good stuff. J-Peeps, let them know.
All right. So, yeah, you guys can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Countdown to Kickoff will be back. It'll be back Saturday before the Albany State game. Post-game recap will be back, but only for select games because I do also have season tickets for FAMU as well. So, for sure for the road games, absolutely. But, I mean, dang, yeah, it's only like 3 road games. So, yeah, I'll only be doing post-game for 3 games. All right, cool. But also, too, you know, Run and Gun podcast will be back next week. Rattler Roundup podcast will be back. Tache and Ashley, let me know what time y'all start, and then, like, me and Ace, we can plan around you guys. Hoping that Bishop comes back, but I know he's handling some business out in California, I believe. So, yeah. Rattler Roundup podcast Tuesday. Run and Gun podcast on Wednesday. And I believe Ace and Mr. Sasser are working on a hockey podcast as well, too. We'll see what happens. One thing, Yeah, I will say, if you haven't been to an NHL playoff game, you need to go. I know there's always that stereotype that black
looks
folks
good on
don't watch
TV
hockey.
though. Playoff game,
No.
NHL hockey looks great on TV.
But
it's better in person.
It is. It's way better in person. Way better. But yeah, so we got 3 of them possibly lined up, plus the ones on the weekend. So yeah, definitely tap in.
Good stuff. Just a couple of quick questions, Mr. Campbell. Are y'all sticking with the name "Sipping on Sunday" on Monday? Is that what's happening with the name? Or hold on, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, muted.
We are sipping on Sundays on the Monday. Just had a good ring to it. So yeah, we're not changing it. We're not changing. Sipping on Sundays on a Monday.
All right, good stuff. Troy, do you got a phone number for tomorrow's show?
I will be posting that. I was just trying to pull it up. I will be posting that out because it's also there's a login number as well. So I'll post that on my social at 9:00 in the morning. You can find, again, that'll be on Fat Mouth Sports on Twitter.
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff.
One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
I was gonna say, I look forward to getting everybody's predictions for each week this year again. Can't wait to see everybody's scores this year, how everybody does picking games. I'm looking forward to that. So, whether you come on as a guest or I DM you, looking forward to everybody's college and NFL picks this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, we put our stuff on wax, so it'll be you'll have ours definitely. All right. Any last words, Marcus or Kelvin? Anything that you guys want to shout out here before we put a pin in tonight's show?
I want to shout out the volleyball team. We had two consecutive weeks of volleyball, our championship volleyball team. So I'm glad that they're getting the pub they deserve, all the excitement the FAMU fans that we have for Coach Gray coming up. So got to make sure we channel that and continue to support and just support all of our teams that are starting and supporting our students that are coming back as well.
Yeah, and I'll just add, move-in happening this week. So the students are moving into the dorms, and the volleyball team as well as cross country will be with the football team this Saturday at Fan Day. And so we want to make sure we support them. And I want to thank my Avengers. We put out the call and they answered. Even one that didn't know to the day. So appreciate it. I enjoyed watching everybody's show, by the way, and I do watch all y'all shows and subscribe to all of them. And I encourage our audience and everybody who watches to do the same. I think we do a good job of putting out content as collectively, and is important work. And what validates that is that the coaches and the student athletes are accessible, and administration in some cases are accessible and comfortable enough to come on our shows, and so continue to support us.
All right. Well, besides all of you, we got to give a shout out to Tamia Coleman for coming in earlier, joining the show. Great segment, real great in perspective, and talking to her. Gotta get that young. There's got to be some business out there that needs a volleyball player for an NIL deal. I mean, personality, great smile. I mean, come on now.
She does. Yeah, she speaks very well too. She speaks very well.
Y'all just chill. Y'all in our business.
Right. Let him cook.
Drum up business, Tache.
Let him cook.
Okay. See,
y'all all in our business.
Let him cook.
Okay. I'm not saying ain't nothing happening. I'm just trying to drum up more if it's out there. just letting the people know. But okay, I got you.
Yeah. GoCon did put out the signal when he was on the show last week.
He did.
He did. All right. Well, let me see. This weekend, I think there's a volleyball exhibition match on the 23rd. That is
Sunday, right?
That's Sunday. Yep. Yes, Sunday against Edward Waters. So you can, anybody's interested, you can check out the volleyball team early if you're in the Tallahassee area, or if you're in town dropping a student off, you can, stick around and go check out the volleyball match. Their season opens next weekend, and then of course next Saturday, of course, is the football home opener against Albany State. Troy, what did we call that game again? We talked about that. What is that game unofficially called?
Thank you for your Coach Classic.
Thank you for your Coach Classic. Saturday, August 29th, 7 p.m. in Bragg Memorial Stadium. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you have heard it. Another successful season is about to begin for Florida A&M, despite all the negative talk by all you haters out there in the SWAC and everywhere else in the HBCU sporting diaspora.
We can win all kind of trophies.
Huh?
We've been winning the SWAC in about 8 sports.
All it takes is 5 and we'll get the Commissioner's Cup. I mean, we've been dancing around it with 4 for the last couple of seasons.
Just
All
5,
we need is 5 or 6.
I didn't know it was only 5.
I said just 5.
Well, if you look at the track that we've been on, we'll probably win about 4. But I'm thinking if we can get 5 to 6, we'll probably win the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
It's looking good in basketball, men's basketball.
Yeah,
I was going to say that about basketball. I'm excited about
that's gonna get scary real
basketball.
fast.
Yes, sir.
They got guys that can win the basketball game or win the bar fight. You pick.
Mhm.
Right.
That game in Tampa gonna be some fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is. I need to get my tickets for that.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely. I will be there.
Thank you to everybody for tuning in, joining the show. Make sure you share the show with your friends and family, wherever you watch the show, wherever you watch all of our shows. Make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Don't be a hater. And we appreciate all of you watching. For J-Peeps, Keith, Troy, Steve, Tache, Ashley, Marcus, and Kelvin, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight's show. And have a great week, Rattlers. We are 10 days away from kickoff. We are excited. Things up, Rattlers, and make sure wherever you are in these streets, make sure to strike, and strike again. God bless everybody. Peace out.